Yo, what's up? It's your boy Matt from TDE. Welcome to the TDE Podcast. This is a new thing we're doing. I'm with the boy Raaid.
Yeah, man. My name's Raaid. This is going to be our first podcast / discussion video for our TDE YouTube page. So this is where we're going to start discussing things just currently in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anything from like upcoming ban lists, upcoming sets, regional events, and just our experiences in the Yu-Gi-Oh! World from when we're young up until now, moving forward as well.
You can follow him on YouTube at Rushmead if you want to see his gaming highlights. The Blue Eyes Master.
Yeah.
Let's get into today's conversation pieces, man.
Yeah. So we got a few things to cover.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about, because you were at the YCS in Vancouver recently,
right, yeah.
So I kind of want to talk about your experience there and just your that, and then we've got like other topics of conversation that we'll just kind of go through as we discuss. So starting with your YCS experience. How is that? How does it compare to your regionals?
Yeah, okay.
What did you learn?
I'll just get straight into it, man. Overall, I had a great time.
Okay.
So I was there with the boys. It was myself, Andre, Sam, and Charles, who viewers would have seen in the Meet the Team video. But I've explained this a little bit to the guys, like at our Thursday night tourney and stuff like that. But it was very like isolating. What had happened was after 4 rounds. Both me and Andre were X3, so we both made the decision to drop.
Yeah.
However, we made that decision like individually.
Yeah.
We weren't able to like communicate with each other.
Okay.
Because just the way it works is like, you come in, you all get separated. There's 500 people playing, so you're all at different tables. After every round, you come and convene and like, oh, how'd it go? Blah blah blah. So knowing that like X3s wouldn't at all make the next day, I straight up, when I ended up going X3, like a little bit like panic mode. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I want to drop out. At the same time, they're doing like announcements because they have all these side events, right? Yeah. So they're doing announcements for like, if you want to play in the giant card tournament, you got to register in 30 minutes. Okay. So I'm like done my match. I'm upset because I'm out now. Yeah. So all like the prep, all the play testing, I feel like, I let myself down. Okay. I let the boys down. Yeah. It's a game. Like, it's for sure. Not to get too crazy about it, but like at the same time, there's all these like emotions of like, I really I'm not gonna win the tournament. Yeah. So if that was a realistic approach to go into, like that wasn't my honest approach. I was like, I just want to do well. Yeah, yeah. I want to have a positive record. But as soon as I hit X3 and it was like, okay, I'm going to miss the window for these side events that, would also be cool to win. Okay. So as much as I wanted to do well in the tournament and I wasn't really concerned about my record, it was like, I do want to stop playing in the main event because I want to maximize my chances at winning something cool in the side event. Okay. Which is like the only kind of awkward thing about it. Like it all makes sense in that like, they want to encourage people to join the side events. There's certain timelines they have to adhere to. Okay. But knowing that, like, I had to make the choice between continuing the main event just for, like, my own personal gain. Yeah. Or, like, if you want to maximize, like, the only way you're ever going to get your money back from playing at this event is, like, maybe winning the giant card. Right. Or, maximizing your point totals to get stuff. Okay. So like that whole process, and like Andre spoke to it a little bit too, was like super like you just have to like take a moment to yourself and be like, I came here to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I just want to play. Yeah. So then my rationale was like I want to play in the side events. I don't want to have any buys in the main event. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people are going to be dropping as their records slide. And like I came to play, I just want to play. Yeah. I feel like a little bit depressed about dropping out. Yeah. I don't want to like sit around and like think about it. Yeah, so I'm like, I just want to play. But then, day 2 and stuff, we had a good group of guys there. Yeah. And like we were enjoying ourselves. Sam, unfortunately, like he did the best out of all of us, but he just bubbled out last round. He ended up losing like in time or something.
That was like on day 1 too, right?
On day 1. Yeah. So he finished, I think, 137th. Oh. So he just bubbled out of 132. Okay. So it was pretty unfortunate, but we all had fun the first day.
Yeah.
It was just like, it didn't go the way we thought.
Yeah.
But it was a really good, like, wake-up call.
Yeah.
Because, like, as we were playtesting before, we were, like, locked in.
Yeah.
We playtested, like, a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't just go and, like, get fucked up and, like, lose out to, like, guys who were, like, locked in.
Yeah.
Like, we were locked in the whole time.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about the whole main event was, like, there was very few people who were like, oh, I'm just here for a good time kind of thing. There was those people, and mostly I feel like it was kind of cope.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of just were playing a bad deck and, like, didn't study the format and, like...
just hoping on a win.
Yeah, just like, I'm just... Maybe they're there to have a good time, but it's just like... They were kind of, like, prefacing the fact that they were just about to lose.
Okay.
To, like, I don't really care anyways.
Yeah.
But, like, everybody there was, like, locked in and, like, wanted to win the event.
Okay.
And, like, it was cool because I've never been... Like, locals is not like that.
No.
You have, like, 4 or 5 guys who are, like, absolute sweats, always finish top tables kind of thing.
Yes.
Everybody else is just kind of
playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
there, or, like, you don't even know why they're there. They're just like, bro, why are you bringing the same cyber stat for 52nd week in a row to go X5? But, yeah. So, all in all, my first YCS, it was a very good experience for me. Because it, like, it was, like, heartbreaking in one aspect, but in the next, it was also like, yo, this is why I play the game.
Yes.
Like, studying a format, becoming good at the format, like, allowing the format to change and adjusting to it, and also just, like, going super fucking hard at, like, yo, it's not just about, like, buying the best deck.
Yeah.
And playing the best deck and winning an event. It's like everybody there is playing one of the 3 best decks.
Yeah.
And they all have gone into it with, like, hours and hours of playtesting.
Yeah.
Some people, like, hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
And they're all just there to win. So it's cool to be, like, even though it's something like a TCG, it's cool to be, like, on the ultra competitive side of it. Even though, like, I didn't do well, it was, like, cool to be, like, a part of that. Because you can't really get that out of, like, let's say sports, right?
Okay.
There's no equivalent in, like, the realm of sports where it's like, I'm head-to-head with pros.
Yeah.
Like, guys who are, like, their living is being good at Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
I have, like, the chance to, like, play across from this guy.
Right, okay.
Like, you can't do that in sports.
No.
You can't just pick up a basketball and be like, how would I fare against LeBron James?
Right.
Like, there's no avenue where that can become a reality, right?
No.
Unless it's, like, a very, like, random thing.
Yeah.
And even then, you're probably not getting their best game, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it won't be at the same level as it would be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you won't be playing NBA level LeBron. You're probably playing, like, street ball.
Yes,
LeBron.
yeah. He's not going his NBA hardest kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I know is, like, a crazy comparison.
Yes.
But it's cool in that it's, like, yeah, you see some guys, like, on YouTube and shit that, like, have, you know, all the followers, and it's like, yeah, like, that's my opponent.
Yeah.
Like, I faced off against this one guy who's, like a smaller content creator.
Yeah.
In terms of, like, the Yu-Gi-Tuber space. But, like, a guy that I watch and, like, respect.
Yeah.
And, like, I played him in one of the side events. And, you know, afterwards, like, he was very nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was playing a fusion deck.
Okay.
And he was playing, like, a trap deck. He was playing Labyrinth.
Okay.
And he had main deck Dim Barrier.
Oh.
So, because his match finished earlier than mine, he saw what I was on. And first turn, he, like, searches Dim Barrier, sets it, and I'm like, oh, great. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just win now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, man, you got it. Like, but after the game, he was like, yo, what's your name? You know, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Like, have a good time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, man, big fan. He's like, oh, shit, really? Like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's cool to, like, connect with people. And it's like, yo, they're guys just like us.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that really separates, like, you know, some of the bigger names in the space.
Yeah.
They're just that much more dialed in. Like, it's what they do.
Yeah.
So it was cool to be, like, a part of that, at least for the weekend or the day one or whatever. But ultimately, yeah, man, it was a fun experience. I wish, like, more of the gang could have, like, pulled up and shit. But, like, all in all, it was like, yo, it's chill.
Yeah, I think next year's YCS, if it's, like, near, like, this side of Canada, / like the Seattle kind of thing, like Washington, or just, like, another part of Canada, probably, like, Niagara, we should definitely hit it up. I think that'd be really cool, like, ahead of time.
Yeah.
Plan it out better. But, like, just to add to what you were saying, so like you're just feeling a sense of like just a little bit down from losing. But like I think that's fine to feel because like that's also like your competitive nature.
Yes.
Because if you went in there and be like whatever, like that's not good. The fact that you went from Alberta, like you flew to Vancouver to just be like then it's like why are you going to a YCS? Let's go to locals that weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My approach was weird in that way because I was playing a deck that I didn't have to like ultra focus on all the lines of the new decks.
Okay.
Because like I kind of had like this decision making process where like I was playing Malice, I was doing okay with Malice, you know, I got my invite with Malice recently and all that stuff, but like I just felt like Malice into the new decks was like so underwhelming.
Okay.
And the new decks were not so complicated, but when you get things like VS K9, even Yummy to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like learning all the best points of interaction was like a chore. Not really like a chore, but like I knew like just for me, I was gonna burn out after however many rounds, right?
Okay.
Like I would have burnt out on that the same way I do like at locals.
Yeah.
Like if we're going upwards of 5 or 6 rounds, I know like my gameplay is gonna suffer.
Yeah.
So my approach was to play like a go second OTK deck.
Yeah.
Because it made it so that there was only certain boards I had to like consider as really being problematic.
Right.
So like every game 1 of my main event and even all the side events, I never lost a game 1 because I would send them first.
Yeah.
They would be like, "What the fuck?" They'd go build their board. I'd Raigeki them 3 times and just win.
Yeah.
And then obviously like a lot of people I thought would send me first game 2. Like that was kind of I was banking on them doing that.
Yeah.
And in that case, I was siding in like a K9 package that let me in on Dice Smasher.
Okay.
Because I was playing Gem Knights.
Okay.
And one of the easiest Gem Knights to go into is a level 5. So I could make Smasher reliably.
Yeah.
So then I tried to turn skip and then OTK.
Yeah.
So I pulled that off like once or twice.
Okay.
But it became more of me playing head games on my opponent and more of just like me suffering from not knowing what strategy I should take on. So in instances where they chose to go first again, I didn't have enough board breakers to break their boards because I put in too many K9 cards and stuff like that. So I wish my approach had been different and I just kind of like locked in on studying the format.
Yeah.
But just because like it was a weird time crunch of like Justice Hunters was like out for like a week beforehand.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh man, I'm really like new to this format. We've done like, you know, tens of hours say of playtesting, but even then it's kind of like, I don't know if I can like lock in on, because at this time like it's still not clear whether Yummy, Draco Tail, K9 Vanquish Soul is better than the decks that still exist in Malice, Ignister, and
Mitsu Raizu. Mitsu was exclusive to us, right?
Yes.
It wasn't in the OCG, so we didn't really fully know.
Yeah. Very good point.
So, but like, I think on the other thing, but I think for the longest time we did know that K9 was like coming up. We did know that Yummy was coming up, and then Draco Tail. So, if like I'm sure there's people that have like play tested with these cards, like virtually, so that way they were not just thrown off by a new format change when these cards dropped.
Exactly.
So they had like a 1 week crunch. Because for us, we just played the last format, focused on a completely new format came, and then everyone kind of got the new stuff.
Yes.
Whereas I'm sure there's a handful of people, especially a lot of the people that we saw at you guys saw at YCS, they were probably playing that stuff like at home on like
that's the thing.
On Nexus and stuff.
That was I remember speaking with Andre like afterwards.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, the thing we got to realize is like we've been playing this format for like 1 week.
Yeah.
So like there are like nuances and there's like efficiencies we're not aware of yet. Just because we haven't run into them.
Yeah.
And we haven't like crunched the numbers here, right?
Yeah.
Like it's better to play this hand trap instead of this one because it's going to come up more.
Yes.
Even if it's less powerful kind of thing. And then it was like, yeah, these guys who were topping this event, they spent hundreds of hours playing this format so they could do well at this event.
Yes.
And to us, like, that's not how we approach the game. We approach it like, I want to win locals this Sunday.
Yes.
So I'm building a deck that's going to beat what I'm going against at locals.
Yeah.
Not so much like I'm not siding Lancia because no one plays Malice.
Yeah.
Not like that, but more so like
You're just considering the current format
Yes.
more than anything else.
Yes.
Like you're not thinking about the upcoming format.
Yeah, living in the present because like my competitive game is not based around regionals or YCS. Those are kind of like side missions.
Yeah.
Like it's like when we play here at my house on Thursdays, and when we play at the shop on Sundays, those are like our events, right?
Yeah.
We want to do well at those. But then it was kind of like going to this event was kind of like that switch where it was like, yeah, that's what these guys are playing for.
Yeah.
They're playing for because these are like the biggest stages, right? So it's like they're going to want to do well at these events, which means if they know the format is going to be like this, at that time, they're going to study for this. Yeah. Which is, it was just like eye-opening. Like it sounds obvious to say, but like experiencing it was like a whole different thing where it's like, oh wow, like someone can be so sure with the deck choice they chose because they've tested it hundreds of times. It's like, you're not accounting for variance when you're doing that. You're like, or that you're only accounting for variance. Yeah. You're not like, oh, some rogue deck's gonna pop up and I'm not gonna know what to do. Mm-hmm. It's like I've seen everything that these decks can do. Yeah. I'm prepared for it. Yeah. Win or lose, I know what's going to happen. Okay. Which is a totally different approach than taking a blind go second OTK deck, right? It's like I don't really care what happens. I'm just gonna try to do my thing. Yeah. Which ultimately was the wrong approach for me, but yeah.
I guess it would be something to consider then, like the next time if we do think like, oh, we're going to go to a YCS. Yeah. Like regionals is regionals, but like YCS specifically, depending on when it is, if it is going to be after like a new set comes out, or like a potential new format, we should at least study the new format. Exactly. Understand what we're playing ourselves into. Because like at that time, this is before even like Triff did his whole hand trap. Then I would have if I would have went, I would have done board breaker blue eyes. Yeah, exactly. And I would have gotten washed knowing that and doing that, right? So.
Well, that's the thing is like, because you see Azuna and you go, okay, well, if VSK9's the best deck and they profit off you using hand traps against them, makes sense that I would attempt board breakers. Yes. But unless you test it over and over and over, you have no idea. Yes. So like our play testing was like, okay, Charles had Yummy. Yeah. Andre had Crystron K9. Yeah. I had my Gem Knights. Yeah. And Malice, and then Sam had VSK9. Yeah. So it was like, okay, we're testing against these new decks. Yeah. Surely we're going to find out, the efficiencies by testing against these. Yes. But it was less so like, does my deck perform well, or how do I play against this deck? Where do I interact? Yeah. And it becomes more like, what these other guys are doing when they're really preparing for these events is like, we know what the decks do. Yeah. Now, like, putting Chemical X type shit. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, well, if we play board breakers after 50 games, what are our takeaways with them? Yeah, this feels worse than when I was playing Hand Trap. Yeah. We just didn't have, we didn't have the resource, the time. Yes. To test all of that. Yes, yes. It was kind of like, we have to make a decision. Am I taking Malice? Am I taking Gem Knights? And I had success with both of the decks. Okay. And ultimately, I just chose the one that I thought people would be less prepared for. Yeah. Yeah, I just felt like with the new decks, they can also side Lancia. So it's like, as a Malice player, you live and die by post side what your opponent's able to draw. Right. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you briefly just kind of mentioned it, but the decks that you did see or come across, they were mostly the new format stuff then? Oh yeah. Most people run new format? Yeah,
out of the four matches I played in the main event, I played against VSK9, Yummy, Cash, Regenesis, and then another Yummy player. Yeah. And so I lost the first, second, and fourth match. I beat the Regenesis Cashier player. Okay. But the really upsetting thing was in playtesting, my matchup against Charles's Yummy deck, I felt like I definitely had the upper hand. Yeah. I'm sure he beat me a couple times, but I felt like the majority of the times, the Raigekis, the Lightning Storms, just pushed through Yummy in a way that was kind of not what the deck was built to put up with. Okay. So my takeaway from those playtesting sessions was a lot of people are going to be on Yummy. If I'm playing these board breakers, they've tested well against the deck, I'm going to be fine. Yeah. So when I got matched up into Yummy, when I got matched up into VSK9, it was a grind. I misplayed at one point and it cost me the game, but that was round 1.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling pretty good after round 1 because I'm like, okay, I'm nervous. I'm on this big stage.
Yeah.
Like, the guy I was playing was like, yo, bro, we're going to get the feature match. Like, I know a guy who works here.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I don't fucking, like, bro, I'm like shaking and shit. I'm like, dude, I don't want that. Like, I was just like, yo, cool. Inside, I was like, oh, man, I really don't want to fucking... The whole world's going to read about my fucking misplays. Jeez. So...
The first time TDE goes live.
Yeah, bro, these guys stink. But then, so yeah, I misplayed, whatever. You know, he earned the match, so then...
Okay.
But then after that, I get matched up against Yummy. And I'm like fucking like drooling. I'm like, oh my god, bro. I'm looking at Raigeki, Lightning Storm in hand,
okay.
Book of Eclipse, and a 1-card starter, right? And for whatever reason, like I didn't misplay. I played it exactly how I should have. My lines were perfect. I had Droplet chained at the right spot.
Yeah.
It just wasn't enough.
Okay.
Reason being was just like I hadn't tested against pure versions of the deck. Charles was playing like a Fiendsmith variant.
Yeah.
At one point, he's playing like a White Forest variant. So it was like the pure version of the deck, even though I had tested against it like plenty online, all of that, I just like wasn't prepared. You know, like I it's just kind of, you know, blind go second deck, like Tenpai is just like bang, 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 now you're dead.
Yeah.
And if they know what you're playing and they know where to interact, or they're accounting for the fact that you've sent them first, and you know, leaving stuff to follow up with, there's certain times you don't push through all the way.
Okay.
And when you're playing like a blind OTK deck, like if you can't push through all the way on that first turn, the crackback is going to kill you 100 times. Like, so yeah, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like I'm pretty down on the whole experience, but like genuinely, I had a really good time.
Yeah.
It was like cool to be there with the guys. It was cool to just like take in the event. I know, like in terms of YCSs, it was like a smaller one.
Yeah.
There's many factors like the Air Canada strike,
right?
Which, you know, contributed to the size of the event.
Okay.
But ultimately, like, it was just cool to be at like an official Konami event.
Yeah.
With all, like, you know, the heat Konami kind of gets.
Yeah.
For where they put us, kind of like, or the situations they like put on their player base.
Yeah.
It was cool to see like this. The side deck also did like a really good job, like just running the event.
Yeah.
But it was cool to just see like, oh, yo, this is like, this could be like a lot better than it is, but this is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It was just awesome, I guess, to just see everything like, I don't know, laid out in front of you, all like the giant like Typhon and Zeus artwork and stuff.
Yeah.
It was cool, but
I feel like I think it would have been like a really cool experience. So like, it's good that you guys went just to even go, right?
Yeah.
Experience what it was. Then at least you can like learn from that. I think it is cool. I wish I would have came, because I was like thinking about it, like when I was with my friends in Jam. Like that was a good time, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I could be playing like a Yu-Gi-Oh right now.
Getting smoked.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, I would have spent X amount of money going there to just get railed trying to play Board Breaker Blue Eyes, and then that would have just sucked. So I'm kind of glad, because that way now like I'm understanding the new format better, so I'm playing around it better. So that way, like even in the future, I can go into these new formats just like a little bit different, as opposed to just like off the head, just willy nilly.
Yeah.
And just kind of prepare a bit more, I guess, that way. But I don't know. I think it's sick that you guys all went to YCS. I think it's a pretty cool experience, because you guys just see people like you said, you see on YouTube and stuff. And it's kind of sick.
Yeah, it was funny too, like seeing some of these guys like, oh shit, like this guy's like short. You'd be like, yo, crazy. That doesn't really translate on camera. Well, for the most part, the ones that I interacted with, which wasn't many, they were all like nice, you know.
Yeah.
Like not too like full of themselves or whatever you want to say. It's Yu-Gi-Oh at the end of the day, so chill. But like,
I mean, if you're full of yourself because you're just known for Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, like,
chill with that.
It's a bit much, but
it's all Y blood. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, great experience.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish I would have. You know, it was. We were not sure if we were gonna go.
Yeah.
Up to like a month or so before the event.
Yeah.
And so I think like next time we choose to go to one of these events, it's going to be with more preparation in mind.
Yeah.
Like, who cares about locals for 2 to 3 months?
Yeah.
Who cares about, regionals or whatever? It's like, we're going to get proxies or whatever we need to get. We're going to play online. We're going to test that format so we can do well at that time.
Yeah. I mean, if you got to do what you got to do for that, I think to prepare, like if you're going to go to an event like this and you want to play it competitively, you should probably take it seriously to that extent rather than just like waiting till it comes out and you just practice it for a week. Like, unless you're just like crazy like that.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like a bunch of players who just do that and they do great. Yeah. That's just not how my brain works. Like, I have to be like inundated with the format to be like, no, like you don't want to ghost ogre that card because, 2 turns from now, like that's going to not be good for you. Yeah. Like, I need to know, like, I need to see the lines
ahead of time. Yeah, I agree. I can't just like go into a new format and just be like, oh yeah, I'll know it. Like,
yeah. Oh, speaking of, I want to talk a little bit about Crashouts.
Yeah, so you did mention that like you were down, whatever, but then there's some people that just take it to a different level.
Way too serious, man.
You want to learn from your mistakes or just your errors.
Yeah.
What about? I know you said you experienced a couple of people where they just.
Yeah, bro. So, look, I'm not gonna say this guy's name because, like, I fully acknowledge some people just have bad days.
Okay.
And like I was just explaining, it's okay to be like ultra passionate about a children's card game.
Yeah.
I am fully on board of like, hey, this is something we do for fun, but also to compete.
Yeah.
And it's something we're passionate about, and it takes skill and it takes like real effort to be good at this game and to do it consistently. All that said, it is a children's card game.
Yeah.
There's no need to crash out on opponents, staff running the event, or just anyone on the general, like in the general vicinity.
Okay.
Grow up. Like, again, I won't mention this guy's name. I know who he is. He's a pro player. He's, he knows he's buddies with a bunch of pro players.
Okay.
And yo, man, if you're seeing this, I acknowledge you're probably just having a rough day. But here's what happened. So, let me grab a stack of cards actually just to show this. So here's my deck, right? I pass it to you to cut.
Okay.
Show me how you would cut this.
This typical cut.
Just put one part down, and you put the other on top, and you pass it back. Okay, so you probably experienced this too. You pass your deck to somebody at locals.
Yeah.
They take it, they shuffle it.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
Okay.
First of all, because it's like, if you break or you fuck up your shuffling and you crumple one of my cards or anything, it's going to be your ass. Yeah. It's going to get confrontational.
Yeah.
It's just like, do you think I'm cheating?
Yeah.
Because if you do, just say something. Mm-hmm. If you want to be confrontational enough to like shuffle my deck, I don't know. Maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
But anyways, so some people shuffle. I just let it go, and I was just like, we'll deal with the consequences. If you break one of my cards, we're just gonna have to have that conversation then.
Okay.
Whatever. Some people shuffle it. I don't shuffle people's deck because I like to assume that people are not cheating the game.
Yeah.
I just want to shuffle.
Yeah.
And I think cutting a deck, just the way you showed it, one, put this over here, put this one on top.
Yeah.
It's good enough. If someone has cheated so hard that they can influence where I cut in the deck, they earned it.
They can
whatever.
Have it. Yeah.
So this pro player, he passes his deck over. The guy takes the deck, shuffles it. But he shuffles it with the face card up. Right? He's looking away, but sometimes he's looking down. Which is normal. Because again, this is a value, like we pay thousands of dollars for these decks sometimes, especially if you're max rarity or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm not fucking bungling your cards too, right? If I do shuffle someone's deck. But whatever. I usually just don't for that reason. I'm not paying for your fucking QCR, as you know. I don't got it on me, bro.
Yeah.
So whatever. Then he places the deck back over, and his opponent, the pro player, has now cut his deck and placed it back. So the amateur player, let's call him, not the pro player, he begins drawing. He draws 2 cards from his deck. And the pro player says to him, I want a final cut, pointing at the pro player's deck that the amateur has just cut.
So the pro player tells the amateur, I want a final cut.
I want a final cut.
Okay.
And he goes, oh, okay. He puts the 2 cards he drew back on top of his deck, and he goes to cut the guy's deck. And the guy says, no, man. like, you have to take those 2 cards, you drew them. And he goes, what? You just asked me to cut it again.
Yeah.
He says, every time you pick up my deck, you're shuffling the cards, you're looking at the cards, and then you're putting it down. I want a final cut because you're looking at the cards you're shuffling. You can see what's on the bottom of my deck. It's not fair.
Yeah.
Then you drew 2 cards. I asked you for a final cut. You put the 2 cards back on top of your deck and presented your deck for another cut.
Okay.
You know those 2 cards are bricks. You don't want them in your hand. You're cheating. The guy's like, man, what? What are you talking about?
Okay.
Then the amateur guy, so now he's been accused of cheating on 2 different fronts.
Yeah.
1, drawing bricks and putting them back.
Yeah.
2, looking at his opponent's deck. So he's upset.
Okay. Wow.
And so he says, this is where I clue into, like, this guy's a pro player. He goes, this is what you effing pro players do. You just bully people to win Winamats? Because now this is a side event.
Oh.
This is day 2.
Okay.
That's the part of it that's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Because we're playing in a Winamat.
Yeah.
We've all scrubbed out of the main event either this morning or yesterday.
Yeah.
Chill. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
But it wasn't a big deal on either side.
Yeah.
You could have picked up those 2 cards. Said, okay, do you want to cut the rest of my deck? Should I draw the other 3? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Guy didn't say anything. Like, he just said, you're cheating, calling the judge.
Wow.
Okay. Judge comes. Judge goes, okay, what phase of the game are we in? And they go, oh, we haven't started. We're trying to cut each other's decks.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, we're going to reshuffle, we're going to recut, and we're going to play the game.
Yeah.
And the guy, the pro player, goes, no, I appeal.
Wow.
I want to talk to the head judge.
Okay.
The judge that came was like, all right, man. So a few minutes later, and it's funny, I'm playing in a different game right beside these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like making jokes with my opponent. And you like pass each other decks, they go, final cut. He's like, anyways. So the head judge comes, and the head judge goes, what point of the game are we in? They're like, no, we haven't started. We're trying to cut each other's decks. And she goes, oh, okay, well, we're going to shuffle, we're going to cut decks, and we're going to start the game. And he starts arguing. But it's like, you called the head judge.
Yeah.
You're a pro player.
Yeah.
You know that their say is final.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And now at this point I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing in a timed match.
Yeah.
You're causing a scene.
Mm-hmm.
I can't focus on the game ahead of me.
Yeah.
So I turn to him and I go, shut up, man. Like, you heard her. Like, just play the game.
Yeah.
This guy's pissed. He keeps arguing. He goes, look at the 2 top cards of his deck. If they're bricks, he has to keep them. And she goes, no, that's not my ruling. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, look at him. And I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. I'm getting pissed now. I'm like, dude, just be quiet. And then the other guy's like accusing him of being like a rule shark. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
So whatever. They play their match. I think he scoops because they ended really quick.
Yeah.
He either got fucking blown the fuck out or he scooped. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. But then my match ended, and the guy who he was playing against, the amateur player, I say to him, I say, hey man, like, are you okay? He's like, yeah man, I don't know what the fuck that was about, whatever. Say, look man, I don't think you were like being malicious, but yeah, like when you shuffle, like, you know, it's commonplace to like look away, like, or like make eye contact so that it doesn't look like you're stacking his deck.
Right.
He goes, yeah, I understand that. Like, it was just awkward, like the sequence of the way things happened. Yeah. Just like it wasn't clear to me what he was actually asking. I've never heard that term, final cut. Yeah. And to his point, neither had I. No. But like, I didn't get any malicious intent from the guy who was technically breaking the rules. Yeah. It was all from the other guy who was trying to like, why are you trying to shark in a Winamat? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like, you're salty that you lost the main event. You're a pro player. You're supposed to be up there with everyone else, and you lost. It was like, bro, like, at the end of the day, though, you're a grown-ass man. So, like, yo, I, like we just talked about, I can understand it's upsetting. Yeah. It's, like, disappointing and whatnot. But, like, you can't then take that disappointment out on, like, your peers or, like, your opponents. It was just, like, a crazy interaction to see, man.
I don't know. I think, one, you said it wasn't even main event. So, like, that it shouldn't have been, like, as serious as it was. Yeah. Two, when it comes to cutting people's deck, I think it's just safe to just go the one over. One over, just do that, whatever you got to do. Don't shuffle. But I've never like looked at it that way though. Where people like I've had people take my deck and go to shuffle. Yeah. I'm like whatever. But I guess I understand where you're coming from, because like it could be annoying. You don't want people touching your cards.
Yeah.
And, you know, if they damage something with a very high rarity and they can't afford it,
Yeah.
that's going to suck.
It's going to be an awkward situation.
Because I do have some cards where they're like kind of pricey, and I'm
Yeah,
like, if
yeah.
someone can't cough up the money for that, I'd be very upset about it.
Exactly.
Right? So I get that. Now for the pro player, like the whole final cut thing, if I'm demanding final cut and that guy drew 2 cards, I'm going to give him that cut. Even if he drew those cards. So I'll just give him a cut, and then he'll draw 5 new cards. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Because
right?
you called it.
Because I called it.
Yeah.
So it's like, because I'm kind of misunderstood you, because when you said he asked for a final cut, I thought you meant specifically for his own deck, but it's for both decks to cut.
No one fucking knows.
Like, yeah.
And maybe someone watching this does.
Yeah.
But all he said was, can I get a final cut?
Yeah.
So I would assume, too,
Yeah.
that it was for his deck.
Yes.
Right? The guy he was playing against
Yeah.
didn't make the same assumption. He went, oh, okay. So he put his cards back on top of the deck,
Yeah.
presented it to be cut again.
Yeah.
That's what he took umbrage with. Because he was like, no, now you've looked at your 2 cards. Not only are you looking at my deck when you shuffle it, but you looked at the 2 cards on top of your deck, decided, yeah, I don't mind doing a final cut. So, like, basically getting a mulligan.
That's such a bullshit assumption. Like, oh yeah, he got bricks for sure. That's why he wants me to cut. My assumption is anytime someone opens a hand, I'm assuming they didn't even break. I'm assuming they have the best hand.
Sure,
in the world, right? Because like when you design a deck, you design it for consistency. So I'm assuming that those 2 cards are all cards that are relied on consistency. Sure. I mean, considering that the guy, like the duel ended really fast, and if the amateur won, then he probably didn't have the bricks to begin with.
Yeah.
But they reshuffled anyways. But even then, to avoid that whole headache, my first thought would have been like, yeah, let's just reshuffle. And then,
well, I think the guy was playing Yummy. Like, what bricks are in the Yummy deck? Like, I don't know, maybe I just don't know well enough, but like, what does a fucking brick in the Yummy deck? Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe he drew 5 hand traps. Yeah. But he only drew 2. Yeah. Like, who's to say his other 3 cards were in starters?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because even if 2 cards are bricks, like the other 3 cards can be really solid. That can let you push for game or whatever. So
so it boils down to I think something that's like inherent in TCG spaces, especially I find in Yu-Gi-Oh! For whatever reason, all jokes aside, there's the player base, whether it's pros or just those characters at your locals, have an issue communicating. Okay. Like, it's one thing to say, hey man, like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to accuse you of cheating. Yeah. But like, could you look away when you're shuffling my deck? Yeah. Or like, hey, I'd appreciate it if you didn't shuffle my deck. Like, I have a lot of expensive cards. Yeah. Can you just cut it? Yeah. If not, okay, we can call a judge and see what an actual cut is. Yeah. Right? But it's stuff like that where it's like, there's a lack of self-awareness I find in TCG spaces where like, or sometimes people are just dicks. Yeah. And just like, think that they're like playing mind games or some shit like that. And it's like, yeah, man, you're just kind of like abrasive. Yeah. Like, so I find a lot of that, like a lot of these issues could just be solved by like 2 grown-ass men being like, hey, can we figure this out before it escalates? Yeah. The unfortunate thing I think at YCS is like, they really urge you to call judges, which I think is a good thing. Yeah. Because I think when it's coming from an authority figure in that sense, the rulings are final, right? Yes. What they say goes, and that's just how it is. Mm-hmm. You can't really get that as often at locals. Right. Otherwise, you become the problem player. Yeah. If you're the guy calling judge every round, every game, whatever, now you're just kind of like, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. And you know, people just don't want to play against you because like, and not to say I'm that guy. I've maybe made a judge call like twice in my life, but like, there are certain guys there where like you get matched up against someone, you're like, oh brother, man, like this guy's gonna argue me about normal summoning something. Okay. You know, you never want to be that guy. Yeah. But I think like, obviously when you can't like solve it amongst yourselves, then yes, okay, let's call an authority figure. Yeah. But yeah, I think for shit like that where it's like, you really could have just been like, okay, I don't understand what you're saying. Do you want me to put my cards back or take them? Yeah. The thing that made it like a little weird was like the guy was like, oh, I'm not picking those cards. Like, again, you asked for a cut kind of thing. Yeah. Which that made it seem like he did draw bricks. So. Okay. Yeah. But I don't know. That was just like one experience from that event. That was like, unfortunately, that was like one of the last rounds of the day.
That's such a weird thing to experience.
Yeah, but I mean, the pro player lost the match, so I guess it's just kind of like karma. Like, hey man, don't be an asshole, you know?
Yeah, and like, it's not even main event anymore, so just play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just play to play.
Yeah. Treat it like locals, man.
Yeah, at that point, just if you win, you win. If not, whatever. And like, if you're just the better duelist, you'll win. If that was some form of cheating.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like game 2 or anything, so he doesn't even know what he's playing against either, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
it's game 3, and he was trying to get the guy a match loss so he could win.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only way to really interpret it.
Yeah.
If you've watched this guy do this twice now, looking at your cards, and now in the third go-around, you're like, okay, I've had enough of this. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, but it comes down to the same thing of, like, people complaining about slow play.
Yeah.
Okay, you went into time and you lost in time, and now you're saying your opponent slow played you.
Yeah.
Why didn't you call a judge while it was happening?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of reasons. Like, I had this conversation with a judge at the YCS. I'm like, bro, like, I'm just not confrontational like that.
Yeah.
Like, if I think the guy across from me is slow playing, and I go, Judge, this guy's fucking around, and he goes, no, I'm not, then what?
Yeah.
Then the judge comes and stands and watches him, see if he's slow playing. But now, there's eternally a weird dynamic between me and that guy.
Yes.
So I'd never do it at locals.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I don't care to win enough at locals to have to be in some weird beef with a guy.
Yeah.
Because some of these guys are crazy, man.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth the headache.
Yeah.
At a YCS or at a regional, different story.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's more on the line there, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you're not getting, like, screwed over here.
Yeah.
There's a guy trying to kill time because he's got life points over you.
Type shit.
Just to screw you over. So, no, it makes sense, though. It makes sense. The locals is whatever. It's, like, really not that deep.
Yeah. If I get slow played at locals, I'm just like, oh, you're a bad guy, and you know it, too.
Yeah.
Like,
you're just a scumbag.
Yeah.
Speaking on Crashouts and locals, you had a little, like, experience.
Yeah, this one was crazy.
On Friday, you saw...
Oh, I have the card right here, actually. Yeah. Yo, so this is a Chibi Blue Eyes. Again, I'm not going to say this guy's name. I don't know him that well. He's just a guy at our locals. And he usually only comes... Our locals host twice a week. He comes on the smaller days, so opposed to like the 5 to 6 rounds that our weekend event gets, the weekly one gets probably 3 to 4 rounds of Swiss. So I don't know what the player count, like 20 versus 40 or whatever. So there's a guy there. He's playing Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
We're in the Jush format now. I think it's fair to say that with the inception of the new decks, some decks have just been power crept.
Yeah.
I would put Blue Eyes in that conversation.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, there's ways to supplement Blue Eyes.
Yep.
Like, people can go to the videos on this channel to see how Raaid plays Blue Eyes, and there you go. But I think it's fair for people who play, you know, exclusively Blue Eyes to feel a little bit like, oh no, my deck has been power crept. Sure. I think it's valid to say, hey, I'm going to put this deck on ice for a little bit.
Yeah.
Whatever deck it may be.
Yeah.
For me, I had a similar, not crash out, but like epiphany.
Yeah.
When Yugioh came into the format and I was playing Voiceless Voice, it was like my continuous spells and traps are going to have a really tough time going into this 4 pops per turn card.
Yeah.
And that's just like, you just have to kind of accept that.
Yeah.
The format has changed.
Yep.
And there's a lot of good reasons for a format to change. There's a lot of reasons that are, you know, strictly based off Konami and finances and stuff. Yeah. Anyways, all that to say, this guy crashed the fuck out at the fucking locals. So I didn't see when this happened. So I'll just explain my perspective. I go to the bathroom at the locals, and on my way to the bathroom, there's a garbage bin, and unfortunately, like, we know how pack filler works. A lot of pack filler gets thrown in this garbage usually.
Yeah.
So I'm just walking by, and I happen to glimpse an Ash Blossom in the garbage. Now, at first it didn't register to me. You know, whatever, a lot of people throw out pack filler. What I get upset about is when people throw out, like, supers or like ultras that are bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old, but I lived through the fucking vanities, emptiness craze.
Okay.
You know, even something like Scrap Recycler.
Yeah.
Heavy Poly is a recent one. Cards come out and they're 50 cents, and the next day they're $12.
Yeah.
If you kept all your fucking filler,
Yeah.
you could have $1,000.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just upsets me because it's like it's so wasteful.
Okay.
Just like you're opening the plastic, you're throwing out the plastic, then you're throwing out what's in the plastic. So like we've just created waste for no reason.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world, but like it's just annoying, I guess.
Okay.
Anyways, I see Ash Blossoms, and that pisses me off because it's like it's Ash Blossom.
Yeah.
Staple card. Even if it's a common, like you had it in your deck at some point, or like there's some kid who's trying to get into Yu-Gi-Oh that can't afford, you know, the $7 Ash Blossoms, and he needs the 50-cent ones.
Yeah.
So what are we doing throwing out Ash Blossoms?
Yeah.
Give them to the store,
Yeah.
or sell them to the store, or put them in a fucking bulk binder or whatever the fuck. But like, so that I see the Ash Blossoms, and then I see Imperm. Now I'm fucking red hot, you know? Who the fuck throws out Ash Blossom and Imperm?
Yeah.
This guy's crap. Then I see a fucking secret rare Chibi Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
I go, what the fuck happened here? And then one of the guys who's at Locals, he's sitting there, he goes, oh, yeah, buddy crashed out. I'm like, what do you mean? He said he took his deck and threw it in the garbage, so I'm never playing this again. Not Yu-Gi-Oh, just Blue Eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, damn, okay. So now there's 4 of us, I'll throw a picture in here, rooting through the garbage, but oh shit, Secret Kaiba Man, you know? Oh shit, there's 3 of these!
Yeah.
Secret Chibis. It's like, it's funny because in our local Facebook group, I saw this guy post, hey, I'm looking for 2 more Chibis, I want to play all 3. 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So we bought the cards, lost, went X4 at the Friday night locals, and fucking threw it in the garbage. And I don't know. It was just one of those like, it gets me into like a bigger conversation that you and I have had before.
Yeah.
Where it's unclear what people want out of the game sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
do you want to do your full combo?
Yeah.
Okay, so you win the die roll, you go first, you do your full combo. How good does it feel if I scoop? I draw my 6 card and I go, yeah, I'm not cracking that board, and I scoop.
I mean, for winning sake, it's great, but for like play sake, not great.
Yeah, so, okay. So when it happens to you once,
Yeah.
at a locals,
Yeah.
you go, okay, sick,
Yeah.
cool. What if that was every game?
Kind of boring.
And what if you scooped into every board you couldn't break? Like, then we're just playing who rolls higher dice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand how people like play this game or have played this game and that's what they want out of the game.
Yeah.
I built an unbreakable board. Admit defeat.
Yeah.
Like, why are you here? Like, play anything else.
Yeah.
It's like a bizarre, like, okay, so I buy a deck. It's the best deck. I win.
Yeah.
But you're not playing the game then. You're just buying the cards.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I can kind of rationalize the thin line between, in TCGs, where it's collector versus, like, competitive play.
Yeah.
That definitely is a thing because it's twofold, right? Like, sometimes we just play decks because we like them.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, throwing out a Blue Eyes deck, which is a competitively viable deck. I don't care, like, whatever anybody wants to say. Like, I just lost to you playing Blue Eyes, right?
Yeah.
Like, it can win.
Yeah. Like, regardless of, like, a tier list, like, S tier, A tier, whatever.
Yes.
It's competitive. Like, it's competitive. Like, you can play with it.
Yes.
And if you can pilot it well, you can make it very, like, pretty far. Especially at your locals, regionals, you know, like, people like Sirius is topped in regionals using Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Now, is it the most viable deck? Maybe not, because there might be other more consistent and more powerful decks. But that doesn't mean the deck's bad. It just means that, like, it's just not the greatest. And that's normal for Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Mitsu, Raizu, Malice were some of the best decks, if not the 2 best decks, right? But now it's like 3 new decks just came out of nowhere, and now they're considered to be the new best decks. Does that mean Mitsu, Raizu, and Malice are bad decks? Absolutely not. They're just got power crept. And that's just the way with Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes has got power crept really fast and really easily because a lot of the hand traps, it honestly just stops Blue Eyes. You can Bell into Blue Eyes, you can Ogre, you can Ash, Imperm, Veiler, like every hand trap you can think of will hurt, like destroy Blue Eyes in its own way. But as a good player, it's how you bounce back from that and how you're able to push through that. Yeah, I'm not obviously the best player, but like there are times where, you know, I can't push from certain hand traps, but I've also learned how to play around that. It's like, okay, if I get Ash or Imperm, what are my routes to play?
Exactly.
I'm also praying on like a really good hand. You know, if I get, you know, if my Barrel, my Spirit Dragon, or like Sage all get negated, I'm praying that my load special summon goes through so that way I can at least end on like a Drill Beam with a Blue Eyes, and at least I have something going on there, right? That's some kind of information, and then hand traps in hand, you know what I mean? But like that's just how you design your deck as well. You think about obviously your main engine, what makes your deck like a strong board. But in addition to that, you also got to consider what are some of the best non-engine that you'll have to run. And obviously in this format, you know, it's quite clear that as of right now when we're making this video, like hand traps are like one of the best options. So that, and Blue Eyes is weirdly a board breaker in itself, so you just add hand traps to it and it becomes a very powerful deck. And now, like when you compare it to the other ones, like people are like, "Oh, it's gonna get washed against Yummy. It's gonna get washed against Raaid. It's gonna get." I mean, if you're not good, sure, but if you're like a player that understands how these other decks work and knows how your deck works and where the weaknesses are, it's doable. I've beaten Vanquish Soul Canine. I've beaten Dracotail. I've beaten Yummy. And I've not played just like bad players. I've played solid duelists who just know how to use their decks, and I've just been able to work around it as best as I can. And it's just a learning process. Yep. You know, like with Blue Eyes into like the Malice meets a Ryzeal. I mean, Droll's really heavy into that, so that definitely destroys like Blue Eyes really rough. And then the follow up with Malice and Ryzeal is very, very strong in that format. It's definitely really tough. But I also didn't understand that format enough because by that time I was like, I used Yu-Gi-Oh as a way to just numb my brain from like the outside world. So I just went to go play locals. Blue Eyes was like playable, so I played Blue Eyes. I didn't care what I played against. I was just going to do whatever I wanted. But that also resulted in a lot of losses because I didn't care what Malice did. I didn't care what Ryzeal did. And because I didn't care and didn't know how to interact with those, that fucked me over. So now I could have taken that experience and been like, oh, fuck this, fuck Blue Eyes, it's ass. It's like, no, Blue Eyes might not be as good as these decks, but it's still comparable and still playable. I'm just not playing it well. So now I just got to understand how these decks work.
Right.
And then, I mean, overall, I didn't really understand these decks to the best extent. However, like with this new format, because it was new to everybody, it was like a perfect time to kind of get myself like acquainted with everything. So then I can now do that for the next format going forward. And then, because I, for one, like to just play decks that I like. I am not one to play like the meta deck or the best deck. I also just don't want to put money into a deck that I may or may not like. Like I put money into Blue Eyes because it's competitive. I made an Art Mage deck that's fun, and I also did Shining Sarcophagus, again nostalgia. So like I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Old school cards. If they are retrained and viable, I will try and play them. The Blue Eyes is definitely the best one of the older, like the nostalgia cards being playable. And so that's what I run with. Art Mage for a bit, I just kind of put it down for a little bit because it's just, it's very easy to hit, and it's just, I'm waiting for like the upcoming support for like the Doom stuff. And yeah, I can add like the K9 stuff. I know some people, like even like Guide or Locals does K9 with Art Mage. Yeah. But even his K9 build is like dominant. Like a lot of it is a lot of K9 cards. Yeah. Right? So I'm not going to go out of my way to buy all these K9 cards, you know, $120 for a set of Izunas. And then I might use it for that deck. Yeah. Might not even. Especially when the Doom stuff comes out, then I'm like, actually, I don't have space for Izuna, so I'm going to take it out and spend that money. With that being said, you might not just have the best deck, but I think it's just a matter of like learning the game and understanding how it is. That's the key
thing, right? It's like, it's the same player that would like toss a Blue Eyes deck in the grave, be like, this is unplayable garbage. Yeah. Literally. That then will go pick up like VSK9. Yeah. And still, like, instead of going X4, maybe they go X3 or X2. Yeah. and then they're upset.
Yeah.
Why can't I win? I have the best deck.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're not a very good player.
Yeah.
So, doesn't matter if you get the best deck.
Yeah.
The other guy here, who is a great player, also has the same deck.
Yeah.
He's going to outplay you.
Yeah.
I think, like, a lot of people will say this, but, like, good formats are, like... An indicator of a good format is when the more skilled player, most of the time, comes away with the win.
Yeah.
Because it's like celebrating and it's like rewarding good play.
Yeah.
It's rewarding studying the format.
Yeah.
Right? So, like I spoke about in my like YCS talk, is like, yeah, I didn't do enough like research on the format. I didn't study the matchups well enough. I just had success in my playtest group.
Yeah.
And left it there. Had I done that, maybe I would have been more successful or whatever, or made a different choice of which deck to bring.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I just think, like, treating Yu-Gi-Oh! As, like, a pay-to-win thing, which I understand, like, the rationale of, like you said, if you want to place out as Azunas, you're spending at least, like, 120 to 150.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it feels pay-to-win in that way. It's like you need those good cards. But it doesn't mean that you win.
Yes. Yeah.
It just means that you increase the ceiling of what you're able to do.
Yeah.
But if you still don't have, like, the foundational tools to, like, make those cards worth your money, there's no point. Play Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
Play Blue Eyes, get fucking wrecked, but go from X4 to X3 to X2 and then find out where that ceiling is.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, this guy who threw out this shit was not at the ceiling of Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
There's no way you could be at the ceiling of Blue Eyes and still go X4 in a tournament with people who are playing Draco Tail for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's not enough variance in a 40-card deck, just to keep it, like, within reason, that would make it so you lose every single game. Like, maybe he bricked every game.
Yeah.
But then that's because you built your deck incorrectly.
Yeah.
That you bricked every single game. Like, if we went X4, that's 8 games in a row you didn't draw a starter.
Yeah.
It's not statistically impossible.
Yeah.
It's very improbable. And I doubt that's what happened.
Yeah.
I think this guy didn't build his deck correctly.
Yeah.
Was upset with his result, which is okay. And had a very invalid crash out.
Yeah.
Like, especially, like, at the shop, man. Like, there's going to be kids.
Yeah.
Like... I don't know. It's just kind of like, it's not main character energy. It's like main antagonist energy, or it's like
side character.
type shit where it's like the bully at school can't beat Yugi, so he goes to fucking Kaima and picks out some crazy cards.
Yeah,
it still loses.
You know,
yeah. It's like I just don't truly believe that Yu-Gi-Oh's pay to win.
No.
I think that's only the case at the very, very, very highest levels of play.
Right.
Where, like...
So you have two of the best players.
Yeah, so you have Josh
deck.
Schmidt and Jesse Cotton playing against each other. The deck that they're playing may be the difference maker.
Yes.
Right? But if those two guys, like, I'm not debating who's better or whatever. If those two guys are playing against each other and they're playing different decks, I think it's a pretty good indicator of, like, how good those decks are.
Yeah.
Based off the result of that game, right?
Yeah.
Because then you're like... is Jesse a little bit better at this type of deck? Is Josh better at this? Is Triff better at that? Or Santoli, whatever, all these guys, right? Like, I think at that point, it's kind of like, you're letting the variance be a factor. You're letting the deck choice be a factor.
Yeah.
And you're telling the best in the world, go at it, figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, today, or yesterday, we saw, like, the World Championship, right? You have Lunalight in the finals against VSK9.
Yeah.
Now, which deck is better?
Technically VSK9.
It won, right?
Yeah.
But you can beat Lunalight with Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
So is Blue Eyes the best deck in the world?
Not really.
No, but you beat VSK9.
Yeah. Right.
Right? But you're not at the Worlds right now.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I hate the idea that someone would, like, throw out good cards.
Yes.
When, like...
Completely viable cards, like very playable cards.
Playable cards, and
not
it's
just
also
random
just like...
commons.
Like, I don't know. Maybe it's me merging the level of, like, collector brain to, like, player brain, where I'm like, I can't believe anyone would throw out Like, I even get upset when I see people throw out, like, bulk cards.
Okay.
I was like, you never know.
Yeah.
Shit might just skyrocket, or, like...
That happens.
What I hate, and this is something, like, all the boys do to me all the time, because I'm the guy who keeps my fucking bulk.
Okay.
They'll come and be like, yo, you have a comment from 2 sets ago? Like, motherfucker, you do. I know you have it somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't fucking ask me. You probably threw it out at the shop. You fucking... Now you need chaotic elements. You know? It's fucking like...
Yeah. No,
it is what it is. Like, it's actually not a big deal, but it's like... I just don't like... I don't know. It rubbed me the really... Like, now I have a chibi blue eyes because of that guy's perils, but...
It is, because it's just like that give up mentality, right?
Yes.
Like, you barely gave it a chance. You for sure didn't give it a chance, because, like, obviously if you did, because then you would have developed the deck a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you said he had, like, a burst stream of destruction in that.
Type shit.
Not one Blue Eyes player is using that that card. Like,
Yeah.
it's a one-of, it's searchable off Mausoleum, sure, and, like, it can be devastating, but there's so many other cards that you could play that's just as good as that card, and you don't want to open that, because if you open it, you're just kind of... It's kind of shitty.
All this to say, if you're out there and you're new to the game, or you're struggling with a deck, like, go online.
Yeah.
Blue Eyes deck. Go to YugiohPro.com, whatever.
Yeah.
Search up, like, tournament winning decks of your archetype, right?
Yeah.
Like, just find a way to make what you're doing. Find a new strategy to do with your deck.
Yeah.
Because, like, this game can be expensive.
Yeah.
If you're like I'm a type of player that, like, yeah, there's certain decks I love. There's certain formats I know those decks cannot exist in.
Yeah.
But I've tried
every
every single format to play those decks and go, this is not the one.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I've had every format, I've had a voiceless deck that can compete.
Yeah.
But because I know the ceiling's lower from playtesting it, I know I'm not letting, that low ceiling be a factor in my results.
Yeah.
If I lose, I want it to be because I either bricked or the guy across from me beat me fair and square.
Yeah,
he was the better player.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like losing because, like, my deck can't do the things I want it to do, or I have to play so much bricks that, like, I can't extend whatever. Or my only viable option is playing 25 hand traps and I brick on hand traps. Like, to me, that's like, I don't know, like, that just takes out that element of the game.
Yeah.
That's like, I've designed a cohesive deck that works in this format is like the fulfilling feeling.
Yeah.
And then you take that deck to its nth, right? Like, we see guys at our locals who play one deck for 6 months.
Yep.
Regardless of the format, they adjust with it, right?
Yeah.
I'm more of like, if I see a deck I like, I'll try it. It's like you said, mostly like older archetypes.
Yep.
Like from when I played back in the day, like saw Gem Knight and I was like, immediately, if this is a viable deck, I will play it.
Yeah.
Just because, like, nostalgia, right? But it was the same with Voiceless Voice. It's like, oh, I used to play the old retrained versions of those before it was retrained. So, like, oh yeah, I'll play it again. Nostalgia, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't get behind the idea of someone being like, this deck sucks. Well, okay, maybe not that. I wouldn't take it that far. There's certain decks that suck ass.
Yeah.
Just the way the cards are written is like...
It's just, they suck. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's more so like ceiling.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Dream Mirror is a bad deck.
Okay.
It was written poorly.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Like, it's a bad deck. But I haven't tried it in every format. Maybe one of these formats it was viable. We see things like Edison format or GOAT format. The strategies that dominated when those formats were actually in play are different from the ones people use now going back to those formats. That's because those formats have been innovated on.
Yeah.
The decks from those formats have been looked at differently, deck building wise, and now we get different results, right? So maybe it was like, oh, during that time you had to be playing Blackwing, blah blah blah. Now there's like, probably 10 to 15 viable decks that people had no idea about. Yeah. Because, like, it just hadn't gone that far, kind of thing.
No.
And I think that's true of any deck. You just have to put the work in. So I think it's like unfair to say like Blue Eyes is bad right now. Yeah. It's like, no, the new decks are a little bit better on paper. Yeah. But Blue Eyes has suffered no hits. Yeah. And I think it's completely viable. And I think it's one of those decks. And it's honestly brilliant design on Konami's end of like creating a deck that gets old players back and interested. Is a good entry point for any new player. Has straightforward lines that lets you use like at least 2 to 3 different types of extra deck summoning. And it's a deck that like grows with you. Like whatever you put into this deck, you will get out of it. Right? Again, there's a certain ceiling. But you know, who's to say like you can't develop a strategy or a sub engine within Blue Eyes? Like say you rip Primite out and put something different in there. Who's to say, right? The only thing that's stopping it is people trying. You know? And if people are like just giving up on the deck because you go X4 playing into Yummy and Draco Tail, you're the problem, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. That was just one thing from the locals this weekend that was just like, this guy's got to be kidding me, man. And like, no disrespect to this guy. I'm sure it's kind of like how we talked about that pro player at the YCS. Where like, you know, this guy must have been having a rough day. Maybe he worked all day, just wanted to relax, go to locals with his buddies, and he just got washed round after round after round after round. Sure. But like, again, a lot of us playing this game are grown-ass men. And we have to be like good representations of what our game is. And I don't know, it's embarrassing.
And you said yourself, too, at the end of the day, it's just a children's card game. Right? And that's what it is. And like, again, I think like to some degree you should be going in at it like I'm playing this for fun as well. I get the competitive notion 100%, but like if you're gonna play Blue Eyes 2, you gotta come in at it like this might not be the top deck. Like I'm topping with this, but like if you do, that's fantastic and it's a really good look for Blue Eyes. But at the same time, like I might get washed a little bit here, but then like I'll still play, do what I can, and like learn at the same time. But yeah, I don't know, to like just like flip out and throw out your cards like that, I think it's just like it's kind of unnecessary. I get putting your deck on ice, just putting it onto the side for a bit, try a different deck, go back to it. That's what I did. Archmage came out. I played with Archmage for a couple months, and then now that's on ice, and I'm back on Blue Eyes with a different approach. That's all it is. And it's just like I realized that Blue Eyes plays a little bit smoother, a little bit better into the new format with the hand traps and so on and so forth, as opposed to Archmage. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, people just saying like a deck's bad and just counting it out. Especially something like Blue Eyes where it is like competitive, right? Like saying like Mitsu Raizo is bad now because it's not the top 3. So then you just put the deck away. It's like, no, it's like you could still top with a Mitsu Raizo because it's still a very playable deck. You just got to figure out how to play against the new ones with the new format because it's a very strong deck. Cause the fact that you can board wipe, you can with the Mitsu stuff. You got your detonator that pops. You got your cross for your negate. Like you got a lot of stuff going on. If you put the Fiendsmith in there or Fiendsmith Raizu, like that's all very strong stuff that can still be very good in this current format. It's just how you play it and what you do. And if you just want to move on to the new stuff, that's very valid too because you just played with Raizu Malice for 6 months and I just want to move on. So some people want to move on and that's totally fine. But to be so upset with your deck because you just keep losing, this just means you're just a bad player. I've lost tons in the past when I go to locals with like Shining Sarcophagus. But again, when I went to lose, I wasn't playing competitively. I wasn't going to go like, oh, I'm going to go top 1 right now. If it happened, it happened. But it wasn't really about that for me. I just went to go play Yu-Gi-Oh! To shut my brain off. I'm playing cards I liked. And whatever the outcome might have been, whatever. Like, it's just whatever. If I went X3, X2, X1, X4, it really didn't matter. I knew what I was getting myself into when I was playing Shining Sarcophagus. And I was playing against, like, Yubel, playing against Raizel, or yeah, I guess Raizel, Fiendsmith, like near the end of the year there. But even like Fiendsmith, Snake Eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that stuff, right? Like when I was playing into that, like Fiendsmith stuff was really difficult to deal with, even for me who's just coming casually. But when I was doing Shining Sarcophagus against like Yubel, for example, I was like, okay,
fucking.
like my thing was like just board wipe. The moment I could board wipe, then it was the game was in my favor.
Yeah,
because they don't stop board wipes. They just screw you when you're forced to attack them.
Yes.
That's where you get screwed. If you can board wipe them, Yubel's not that crazy. And that's why it was like interesting too, because Yubel was like one of the top 3 decks, and I was coming along with Shining Sarcophagus, beating Yubel deck because I just knew the strat. The strat was like board wipe. That's it. But then you can't really get by with that with so much with like Snake Eyes, because then they have like the Promethean Princess and these different other lines, and like that's a little bit tougher. And that's where like certain decks just fall, is that their extensions aren't very great. And that's where sometimes Blue Eyes does fall, because the extension for it isn't always the greatest, but you need to figure that out. You need to understand what that is.
That's the thing, right? Man. Like, what you're talking about is like, it's not about playing the best deck to the best of its ability is the only viable approach to the game.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have arguments of what is the best deck? Is it Yummy? Is it VS Canine? Whatever. But, like, to your point, when I first started playing locals again, after 10 years of not playing it, I came in with Ice Barrier.
Yeah.
And I would beat Tenpai players, which was the best deck at the time.
Yeah.
I could beat Yubel players. First of all, because nobody knew what the fuck my cards did.
Yeah.
But because it was like I wanted to win, I would play a lot online. I would test with my friends.
Yeah.
And when I would go and actually play locals, I knew what the decks did. With Tenpai, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
I knew what it did. I knew my deck was like uniquely positioned to deal with Tenpai because I can switch them to defense position on summon and I don't have to worry about it, right? Stuff like that, where like things just traded nicely.
Okay.
So it's like I still like when you play a deck and you get invested in the success of not just yourself at events, locals, whatever, but of your deck doing well. Other people who are playing your deck representing your deck well. Like there becomes like this communal thing of like you don't get it so much with the big decks, right? Like VS Canine, Malice, like whatever, Raaid, like it's tougher with those decks because so many people are playing those decks because those decks are so good.
Yeah.
But when you play like a lesser known deck, Voiceless Voice, Ice Barrier, Shining Sark, like you can find these groups online. Like even Malice had one.
Yeah.
Where like people are sharing strategies because like they're passionate about the deck.
Yeah.
They want everybody who's playing the deck to do well.
Yeah.
And like Blue Eyes is definitely one of those ones. Also hits a lot of people because a lot of people are playing it.
Yeah.
But the people who are good players in the game who are still playing the Blue Eyes deck have a lot of information to share.
Yeah.
And like they're willing to take the deck's limits to the nth.
Yeah.
And see where that ceiling really is, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, don't think of Yu-Gi-Oh as like, don't think of formats as like, this is, VS Canine format. This is Yummy format. There's definitely been formats like there, Tier Lament, like Tier 0 formats is a different conversation, I think. Because if you're not playing that deck, then you're immediately there's less going for you, right?
Okay.
But this is not a Tier 0 format.
Okay.
Last format was not a Tier 0 format either.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think you could say, like, Mitsu Raaid was more consistent than... Well, I wouldn't even say it's more consistent than Malice. It just had less silver bullets, but it had Droll in everyone's main, right? Yeah. So, I think it's just like... I would define our current format right now as like a triangle format.
Yep.
The only thing better than a triangle format is like, I don't know, a square format.
Yeah.
Where
it's like open-ended even.
Open-ended.
Yeah.
But then you get into like at the time of the YCS, which is still the format we're in now, where Mitsu Raaid is still a thing. Malice is still at full power.
Yeah.
And then you have Yummy, then you have VS Canine, then you have Draco Tail, you still have Blue Eyes. Like, because there's been no ban list yet, it's kind of like everything's kind of in an unknown state.
Yep.
Until we get some clarity on what cards are getting banned and all that stuff, we really don't know.
Yeah.
Right? And like you said before, like Mitsu is an unknown in all of this.
Yes.
And the Mitsu players I've played against in this format, it's shocking how much that deck does and how effective a board wipe is playing into some of the new decks.
Yes.
Because, like, you know, when you boil it down, it's Raigeki.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the best cards that I had at the YCS was Raigeki in terms of consistency.
Yeah.
Anytime I activated, people would laugh and then go, oh. Like, and then to a Yummy board, it'd be like, huh, oh, like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
You know, and then you follow up with a Lightning Storm or whatever, you know, it's like, so, and, you know, and that's in a format where board breakers are bad.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's more, look at the format as in what decks are you going to go up against. Not that, like, you have to prepare for one specific deck or these are the only viable decks.
Yeah.
It's more so like, how does the deck that I want to play strategize to compete with these decks?
Yeah.
Right? Like I said, when you go back to Edison, the decks that are being played at Edison events were not the decks that were played during Edison events.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's because, like, they've been innovated on. So I think, like, in most cases, I think any deck is viable if you are passionate enough to
Raise the ceiling.
yes.
Yeah.
What that might look like is cutting down and playing a supplemental engine and all that stuff. Like, there's a guy on YouTube called the Stellar Knight. This guy's obsessed with Stellar Knights. He's been one of my favorite YouTube personalities because I love Stellar Knights too. I made the executive decision like a year or two ago to put the deck on ice.
Okay.
Like, the time that these cards, when they were written, was like, they're too fair.
Yeah.
They lock you out of certain things. They lock you into certain things. It's too fair.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't written that way at the time, Stellar Knight would have been the best deck by a long shot.
Yeah.
I sincerely believe, like, during Shadal Burning Abyss format, like, if they didn't have those restrictions, the ceiling would have been up.
Yeah.
But this guy's, like, obsessed. So he'll play any variant as long as there's a Stellar Knight name in the deck.
Yeah.
Or, you know, hopefully more. He will play a deck that can play the Stellar Knights just to still be a Stellar Knight player.
Right.
Because that's how he, like, identifies.
Okay.
So right now he's playing, like, basically like a pure Mitsu with, like, 4 Stellar Knight names.
Okay.
And then a couple extra deck Stellar Knight monsters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I respect it.
Yeah.
I don't want to play it, like, but I respect that you're, like, so it's almost as if you're, like, you play Blue Eyes, and you're running, like, a Maiden, True Light, and 1 copy of Blue Eyes, 1 copy of Spirit package.
Yeah.
And you, just to say that, like, no, I'm a Blue Eyes player.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
That's not, like, my cup of tea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, but, like, I get it. And, like, it's more of a testament to, like, yeah, you could play anything you really want to, if you really want to, and you can do well with it.
Yeah.
This guy's, like, he's a good player. So, again, there's people, like, fucking throwing out a deck, especially a deck like Blue Eyes, is, like, honestly, it's like, you know, I didn't mind that guy. Like, I haven't had much interaction with him, but, like, now I see him, like, man, kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of inexcusable.
Yeah, it's just a really shitty conclusion to come to, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know. I don't think people should be crashing out over a deck that just they don't do well with, personally. But I don't know, that's just me. Yeah, I mean, so we did briefly speak on like the current format already, kind of in discussion with the other decks. But, like, I guess we can speak on it just a little bit more. What do you think about this format compared to formats in the past?
Yeah.
Especially since when you came in. So I'm new-ish.
Yes, yeah.
So I'll get your side, and then I'll bring up, like, kind of how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, also, like, it's interesting to see how you view formats, because in my opinion, you came in at one of, it's a really odd thing that happened at our local specifically, but, like, when you and I met, that format in Yu-Gi-Oh is probably going to be looked back at as one of the most toxic formats. It's Snake Eye at pretty much full power.
Yeah.
Snake Eye, Azamina, Fiendsmith.
Yeah.
That deck, Tenpai,
Yubel.
and Yubel at full power.
Yeah.
One of the most oppressive formats, because it's not just like, oh, the decks are really good.
Yeah.
It's that they put up negates, like, very easily.
Yep.
And I don't mind Omni Negates.
Yeah.
I'm a voiceless voice player.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing about Omni Negates is like, when you put up 10 of them,
Yeah.
it becomes what we talked about earlier. I build a board, you scoop, I win.
Yes.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Then we're not actually playing the game.
Yeah.
And there's always this argument, and like some of it I think is a little bit cope, where people are like, oh, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where I actually get to play.
Yeah.
I think that's valid
Yeah.
to a certain extent. Like, yes, I'm going to negate your effects. I'm not going to let you
Yep.
Raigeki me.
Yeah.
But to a certain extent, the game is those interactions. And when you get players that are like some of my buddies who played like, you know, GOAT days, and you try to introduce them back to the game, they're very like apprehensive. And, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! To them was 20 turns long.
Yeah.
We both got 10 turns.
Yeah.
You know, it ended with me normal summoning Dark Magician over 2 giant Stone Guardians
Yeah.
and winning the game, right? Now, the thing I always tell those guys is Yu-Gi-Oh's still like that.
Yeah.
But instead of it taking 20 turns
Yeah.
that had 1 interaction per turn,
Yeah.
now we have 2 turns that both have 10 interactions.
Yeah.
It's the same game, takes just as long.
Yeah.
What are you complaining about?
Yeah.
It's just they don't want to learn how to play in this current format because it's difficult.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about this format. Is like I spoke about before, it rewards players for being students of the game.
Right.
Right? So I feel like this format is good because, like, yes, there are 2 decks, I would say, that are like extremely good in Yummy and VSK9. Like, VSK9, for my opinion, is like the only thing going against it, and it does have the ability to brick sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that deck is like cracked. Like, it's good. It's almost probably too good. Very hard to like interact with, and just like very solid, very, very consistent. Unless you brick, right?
Yeah.
And it just won Worlds, so I think it's more than proven itself as like one of the great decks.
Yes, it was anticipated to be the best deck in our format, and it won Worlds. So it's undeniably where it's at. Yeah.
But I do think it's a format where a lot of rogue strategies are going to get looked at.
Yeah.
Because the cool thing, though, when you have a triangle format, is like maybe it diminishes the amount of rogue options, because you usually find like rogue options when there's like one tier 0 deck and it's a dominant deck.
Yeah.
Because then you can play like an anti-meta strategy.
Yeah.
Where you're playing like Exo Sisters, or you're playing like back in the day it'd be like any deck that could play Shifter would play Shifter.
Yes.
Because then you have a really good Snake Eye matchup.
Yeah.
That's less of the case now, though, right? Where now it's more like a good deck is a good deck is a good deck, right? You have to play one of these engines to make your deck competitively viable, and then it's like, can you draw the 1-card starter while after going full Fiendsmith combo?
Yeah.
Right? So I like formats like this because it makes it so it's not just like my side deck is committed to playing against Snake Eyes.
Yep.
And if I play against Yubel, I'm fucked. Yep. You know, something like that. Why I think it was interesting when you started playing is that it was like that oppressive format.
Yes.
With nobody at our locals, like they were so tired of playing those decks that no one was playing them.
Yeah.
The most, like, the majority of like the meta decks we saw, like if there was 20 players, there'd be like 3 Tenpai players, 2 Snake Eye players, 2 Yubel players.
I think that was the number. Like, it was a good estimate for that number.
Yeah. And some of those people were like the people we spoke about before, who pick up the deck because it's good, not because they're good at playing the deck or like it, you know, is cohesive with their play style. And those players were easy to beat because they didn't really know what they were doing.
Yeah.
But like the good players at our locals, like only a handful of like good players at our locals were on those super oppressive decks.
Yep.
And then it was a matter of if you would match up into those players, right? So it was interesting because like our locals was very like diverse in deck choice, right? I saw like a lot of weird decks like Noble Knights and like a bunch of shit that like wasn't viable into Snake Eyes. But if no one at your locals is playing Snake Eyes, then, which then it's that same conversation of like, what metagame are you preparing for? Mm-hmm. If you're preparing for YCS, And so if you go online and you net deck and you're like, okay, well, this guy just won the world championship and this was his deck list. If I play this list, surely I will be able to do better at locals.
Yeah.
Okay, but no one at locals is playing those decks.
Right.
So if your whole side deck is Malice hate, and no one at locals is playing Malice, now you don't have a side deck to side into a fucking Lunalight player.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's an aspect of it that makes formats like these refreshing because, like, there is no silver bullets, in my opinion, for this format. Yeah. Still got things like Dim Barrier, which is always going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're a Draco Tail player, like, that sucks, sure.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, I don't really need... If you activate that on your turn, I'll wait for my turn and I'll fuse.
Yeah.
If you activate it on my turn, I'll just keep Fey Mana in hand and I'll fuse on your turn.
Yeah.
So it cuts out like those silver bullets.
Yeah.
There's no like Malice has kind of been tempered in that these new decks are more powerful.
Yeah.
And that Malice still has a silver bullet in Lancia, right?
Right, I see what you mean.
So
it's followed up regardless.
Yes.
Right.
And so like because everybody was playing Droll in their main decks because of Mitsu Raiziel and all the deck kind of in that format. It makes it so that now nobody's playing that.
Yeah.
So now Blue Eyes becomes more of a viable option.
Yes.
Because you know at least in game one, you'll probably not have to run into Droll.
Yeah.
Which makes game one more winnable.
Yes.
Which makes game three more winnable.
Yeah.
Which means a match is more winnable for you overall.
Yes.
Right? Which that is where the rogue strategies come in.
Yeah.
I could play anything because nobody's maining Droll.
Yep.
You know, game three, I could side and cross out and call by and whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they still have to draw it.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, my whatever it's worth, like I like these formats because this is where you see like it's fun to play in those matchups. If you play Draco Tail and you play against Yummy, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I honestly think playing against VSK9 is like a miserable experience. Like, I don't find it like a fun game.
VSK9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on what deck you're playing.
Okay.
Like, if you're playing Yummy, you have a better matchup against it.
Right, okay.
But, like, I don't know, like, you've played into it, like...
Yeah.
For me, I find it just, like... Because my deck just, like... Because I'm playing Draco Tail, allows them to go full K9 combo.
Yeah.
Or don't interact, and either or bad options. Which means, like, you've got to have, like, 4 hand traps.
Yeah.
And K9 doesn't have, like, a genuine one-card starter.
Mm-hmm.
The closest we have is, like, Lucaeus.
Yeah.
Which can search 5 mana, but if you spent all 4 hand traps, like, you still got nothing kind of thing. I don't know. What's your experience playing in the VSK9?
It's been, like, honestly, it's been good. Like, I haven't, between the 3 decks, I find that Draco Tail has been, like, my biggest struggle.
Yeah.
Or, like, my biggest, like, where am I going here, you know what I mean? Obviously, the biggest worries is your extra deck, Secretarian Dragon, Mysterion. Like, those can be, they're just, like, stuns in a weird way. So I have to just be careful and set up a board that way I can still interact.
Yeah.
So Vanquish Soul K9, like, it is a very strong deck because when I've dueled against it, whether it was Dan, Sam, or Sean, you know, I beat Sam, I beat Dan, but with Dan, the last time I played him, he kind of bricked really hard, so like I'll give him that. But like Sean, for example, he beat me 2-0 when it was at locals, but it was still a heavy back and forth, and like it was just at a point where like I think it was game 2 where I could have had it had I just judgment his Raisin. I was thinking of like, oh, don't hit the Raisin because there's more to hit. And this is before I knew that like I should be hitting the Raisin, right? Yeah. If I just knew that, if I had that knowledge, then I would have had game 2 going into game 3, and then we don't know where anything goes.
See what happens.
But it just nonetheless was a back and forth.
Yeah.
And that's why my experience with Vanquish Soul K9 has been pretty good. Yummy, I actually don't think I've lost to Yummy. I know with Evan, I just gave it to him there because we just took way too long, and he had life points on me because I used Judgment. So I was like, just take it and we'll just move on here. But like at locals and even just here at your place, like I haven't really lost to Yummy with Blue Eyes, so it's been pretty good. Finding the choke points there. Yeah, the takeouts are tough. Like if if my monsters weren't as strong as they were, so if it was Archmage, for example, this would be a little bit tougher, right? Trying to figure out how to work around those tag outs. But even into Archmage too, I think I could still work around it. It'd just be tougher because I don't have the high attack monsters.
Right, okay.
Because I do have the, like, Omni Negate, I do have the board wipe with Archmage, but Blue Eyes is just easier because they're just so much stronger. So even if they have that field spell that gives them all their attack, they need like a full board of monsters to just overcome like the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Like Tyrant is still something that they can't even get over. And then Tyrant just attacks with everything.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, it's still really good in that sense. And then you get your Drill Beam, you get your negates, interruptions and whatever, and you kind of go from there. Yeah, Draco Tail, that one, it's like, it's still something that I need to understand a bit more, but even then it's more like I just gotta hope I just draw better.
Yeah.
Or just draw more, so that way I can play better. Like, I guess, like if I brick against Draco Tail, then I know that I just don't have a chance at all. Or if I like have 1 or 2 good cards in my hand, I need like 4 of these cards to be good, at least, right? Like 1 brick. And then it's like, well, I have a chance here. I can set up a board where I just don't die. And ultimately, too, in comparison, like with Blue Eyes, I just have stronger monsters too. And that's also the nice thing to like not have to worry about, is that like monster to monster, I just, as long as I can get Tyrant, I can just start swinging over everything. But it is your bounces, it's your non-target negates. Those are gonna hurt, and when those go off, then it's like that's kind of tough. But when you mentioned that with this format having like a triangle kind of thing, it's nice because you look at each deck and see what each deck does to one another and how they hurt each other.
Right.
It's like, okay, so if Yummy does this to Vanquish Soul, what is it about Yummy that hurts Vanquish Soul? What is it about Vanquish Soul that hurts, or Canine that hurts Draco Tail and Draco Tail into Yummy? Now apply that to your own rogue deck, right? So see what your rogue deck can do well against these other decks. What can it learn from Yummy, learn from Canine, learn from Draco Tail, and just kind of try to make it work there. My biggest thing I took was I took away all those silver bullets, those crossed out that called by. I just said, I'm barely even drawing into these. And in this format, if I use call by, like what am I really using this on? Lupus? Am I using it on your Snatchy? Am I using it on like your Malulu? Like, okay, then what? You still get a add back from your fusion monster. They still can go, they already have their synchro monsters, so they can tag out to special summon their other Yummy monsters. They can still use Yummy Surprise. Like, they still have so much follow up. If I use call by, it does nothing. Cross out does nothing. So it's like, why? I'd rather just have more chances to go into an Ogre, more chances to go into a Bell or a Veiler, and just kind of play that way. So that way I can just negate your Arthelion or pop your Arthelion.
Exactly.
And then being able to pop your cards too with Blue Eyes and having Jet, it brings Jet back, and that's just another level of pressure that it adds, because now I get a target bounce, and you have to just reconsider a little bit. At least it puts pressure. So even you thinking like, oh, this is my route of play, but then suddenly I have Jet on board, now you got to rethink what you're going to do.
Right, exactly.
And then that might throw you off a little bit because there's time involved and there's this and that. So that's why I like this format a lot. Like when I got into, like I went to locals for the first time last summer, so about just over a year ago now, like June, July, and I went in with Shining Sarcophagus at the time, or like a branded Dark Magician deck, and those were the two that I'd go back and forth between, and I really for the longest time went in just to shut my brain off, and just play Yu-Gi-Oh, right? I play Master Duels, like I'm just going to locals and play with these actual cards. Had fun, like it was what it was. Like I wasn't winning like crazy or nothing, but I won here and there. It was just cool to combo off, get my Ghidorah Dragon OP as fuck, pop everything and just go for game. That was always satisfying. But then at some point, it definitely just got to a point where I was like, I'm just playing like the same. I'd lose so much. I play the same bottom table people. So I was like, okay, well this isn't saying much, and then I'm doing the same thing. It's just annoying because then those bottom players are like using weird decks to like Runic Stun or Runic to banish my like cards, like to deck me out. Yeah. Which in at the time, like, it was really good for Shining Sarcophagus because banish cards, Ghidorah gets super strong, so it's just whatever. It's just annoying. It's just like, why am I playing against these people?
Yeah. Table 500 shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just terrible. And then Malice, Raaid stuff came out, and I was like, I could learn this. Like I was like, Raaid looks cool. I was like, if I'm gonna pick up a new thing, maybe I'd go into Raaid, figure that out. But I was like, I don't want to spend money on cards, and I think at that time I already bought like a bunch of like staples just to add to my deck. And I knew Blue Eyes was around the corner, so I was like, I know that I'm just gonna drop this deck and play Blue Eyes. And at this time, still, Yu-Gi-Oh was just more to just shut my brain off, where I just don't care. I'm just gonna go on a Sunday after a work week, just play some Yu-Gi-Oh for fun, get some packs, get out of there, or store credit, get out of there. I more so collected like cool higher rarity quarter century nostalgia cards. That's all I cared about. I didn't really care about being the best duelist. I just wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
And then, like, obviously I met you guys. You invited me over, and then we started playing more. And then, like, it slowly became less, like it's still fun, but less focus on the fun aspect and more like, okay, now I do want to win. Because I do have a sense of competitive nature. And you, me, and Andre had this discussion, right? It's like, I want to win at things that I want to win in. So when I play, like, certain games, like Call of Duty, whatever, I want to be really good at that match.
Might as well.
But Yu-Gi-Oh is like, I just wanted to play cards. That's my biggest thing. But it obviously gets to a point where I do care about this enough. And, like, if I am spending as much money as I am into it, I may as well get good at it to a degree where I can actually, like, compete in or just understand the game. So, and that's kind of what it was when this Malice, Raaid, it was already a couple months in. This was, like, when Blue Eyes was newer. And then that's where it kind of kicked off and just kind of just went from there. And then just over time, like as I played through that last format, I progressively just got more involved and more trying to learn like how these other decks work and trying to understand what the choke points were. There was like even still now, like there's still a lot in Malice and Raaid that I just do not understand where to hit because they were just like Raaid people are like just wait till the extra deck. But then it seems like by the time I wait till the extra deck, I'm already like fucking screwed.
Yeah.
Because they already have like the Raaid Cross and they have detonators. So I go Blue Eyes, everything dies because True Light gets popped, everything dies. I get ashed once and then it's over. Right? Malice is just like the non-target banish. Like honestly, Malice was funner to play against than Raaid because like I could actually put up a board without worrying about anything getting popped per se.
Yeah.
But still, like it was just very difficult. I just didn't understand as much. But as like I was starting to understand it a bit more, and then like I got it. Like we dueled each other. He was using Malice, and I used Shining Sark.
Yeah.
And
just
like
find that video on the channel. Dude.
Yeah, like Shining Sark works. Like it's not obviously the greatest, but you know the turn silence negates any monster effect. So if they use a banish monster effect to reborn itself, you can just negate it and it just stays banished. So it's kind of good that way, especially if you just hit them with good hand traps early on. That's just what learning does, right? Shining Sark is someone made the joke as an at-home teach your parents how to play kind of deck. You don't take it to locals against Malice, but if you just learn choke points, then that one card effect will be very helpful and very handy and whatever. So
I think that's a good point too, in that it's like sure I understand that explanation of Shining Sark.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the most powerful. I played it because when I watched you play it, like, obviously you see the appeal. It's a Yugi deck. It's whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I was, like, trying to crack the code. How do I break this deck and make it, like, crazy?
Yeah.
And it's the thing with some decks. We talk about ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Ceiling's lower. It just doesn't have as many options.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a deck like that where it's archetypal, but only in name.
Yep.
Then, the kind of staple cards for other archetypes or like mono archetypes, monotype archetypes, or mono attribute archetypes, like you kind of lose out on those.
Yep.
Where it's like, if you play, if you're playing Teller Knights and you play Rhoda, or if you're playing Raiziel and you play like Bonfire, like those are things that helps you. Not that they couldn't in those decks, but there's less of them because your main deck monsters are so spread out in terms of type, attribute, whatever, right? So it's just one of those decks where it's like, it is what it is. It's very fair.
Yeah.
And I think it goes into a bigger discussion of like, you know, we can have this discussion another time of like, what does it mean to play Yu-Gi-Oh?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it any less valid to like sit around with your friends and play like, you know, decks with lower ceilings because like, you know, it's fun to play Shining Sark and it's fun to play Teller Knights or whatever. I think when you become part of that, like when that competitive drive takes over, it's tough to like look at any other format. For me, it's the reason I don't play Master Duel.
Yeah.
To me, it's not real.
Okay.
I played that format.
Yeah.
You know? So why do you complain about you having to play in the Raizel Malice? You have Max C.
Yeah.
Don't complain to me. I had to raw dog that shit.
Yeah.
You know? No Fulos. No Perulia. Like, I was in the trenches, man. You know? Like, for me, it's not real. Like, it doesn't, which sounds shitty. I'm not trying to shit on Master Duel players at all. Yeah. Like, it's a different format. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But to me, that's not my format.
Right.
My format will always be TCG's advanced format.
Yeah.
Whatever it is in its current day and age.
Yeah.
You know, me and Charles have talked about like, oh, it'd be fun to go back and play, you know, the way we played in 2014. You bring your Cleave Forts, I'll bring my Teller Knights, whatever. But like, I mainly don't play, like, I'm not an Edison player.
Yeah.
I'm not a Go player. For me, like, those formats have come and gone.
Yep.
And it's done.
Yep.
Having success in those formats to me doesn't mean as much as having success in modern advanced means to me, especially with Master Duel, because it's like I've already like I don't want to have to play into a Snake Eyes board ever again.
Yeah,
like, you know, I don't want to burst Tenpai.
Yeah,
I played Malice for 6 months.
Yeah,
I don't want to play against a Malice that has, you know, Link Decoder and fucking Appaloosa in the same extra deck. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But again, it's a thing that never existed.
Yeah.
In the game that I play
currently. Yeah.
You know, which is why like Worlds too, I kind of put like a world champion is a world champion. No one could ever take that away. But the format's weird. You can't say it's not. The rules change. The ban list is
for Worlds.
For Worlds.
Is it different than TCG?
Yeah. So like, it's Worlds. So it's OCG and it's TCG. It's combined.
Okay.
So the ban list turns into a ban list that they have Max C there.
Yeah.
We don't have it here. It's not legal in the World's ban list.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, okay. I hope not, yeah.
They have Appaloosa there. We don't have it here. It's not legal.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Okay.
They have cards that haven't released here yet.
Yeah, so they can't.
So they can't play them.
Okay. So they're basically going off of what?
Crossover.
A crossover, yeah. So, like, because obviously we have cards banned here.
Yeah.
That.
Where it gets weird is, like, if it's semi-limited there and limited here, I don't know where they...
Draw the line.
Yeah. Like, does it go to limited or, like, is it lowest common denominator kind of thing?
Right.
I actually don't know.
That is weird.
When they release it, it feels a little, like, arbitrary.
Okay.
And I could see, like, someone having the same perspective I have on Master Duel, like a Japanese player, say, or, like, any OCG player...
Yeah.
Playing in the Worlds would be like, man, what? I can't play Doom Z? Like, that's what I've been playing for the last however many months.
Right, yeah.
I gotta go back and play VSK9?
Yeah.
Because it's not even a thing here anymore.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel modern.
Yeah.
It feels like, you know...
Because they're just ahead, too.
Yeah.
That's also, I never really thought about the format play for, like, Worlds, because it wouldn't be what we experienced. Like, it's not TCG, right? Like you said.
No. It's a little bit different, yeah.
Because I would have expected it to be TCG, but then it is Worlds, so they're not just going to cut out OCG.
Exactly.
I just assumed Worlds TCG, and then there would have been, like, a Worlds for OCG.
Yeah.
But I think OCG just applies to Japan, right?
Japan, Korea, China, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, even
there
then.
might be, I don't know, some other nations in there.
Right. But, like, because I know Worlds for, like, there's, like, Duel Links 2 and then Master Duel, but those are pretty straightforward because they're the same mobile game.
Yeah, because it's, like, Master Duel is a pretty good indicator. Like, the Master Duel ban list applies on a world level. Yeah,
so everyone has access to Max C, but then no one, like, and everyone has access to Appaloosa, like, all those busted cards, which is crazy, because I couldn't imagine dealing with, like, Appaloosa, Baron de Fleur. Appaloosa and Malice would have been fucking
crazy.
It would have been so bad.
With Link Decoder, like, it's just, like, fucked up.
It would have been so bad, dude. Those Omni
And March Hare,
Yeah.
Like, we never had March Hare and Link Decoder in the same thing. You
No.
know? Like,
No. That would have been such a... Like, Malice... That's probably what it took in Malice to, like, YCS and win. For sure. You know what I mean?
But,
Holy, I'm actually so glad we didn't have to, worry about that.
But that's what I mean is, like, the current format will always be the format, regardless of how toxic it is.
Yeah.
Or, like, how oppressive some of the decks are.
Yeah.
That just makes me want to win more.
Mm-hmm.
You know? No matter what deck I'm playing or you know, how low the ceiling of my deck is.
Yeah.
If there's a current format that I'm playing in, that's what's, like, quote unquote real to me. Not to say the other formats are lesser or, like, you know, beneath me.
Yeah.
It's just not
for you.
I can only afford to focus on one format and, like, give my all to it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I've tried the Master Duel grind and all that, but, like, it just didn't feel...
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough because, like, I did do Master Duel. That's where I would try to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But then going to locals, and it's different, right?
Yes.
So it's like I build my deck, and suddenly I can use 2 called buys in Master Duel, but I can't do that in
which
locals.
Totally
So
can
then
change your whole experience.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, like... Then it's like, oh, I could just take out 1 for another card, blah, but now I have all these 1-ofs, and it's just weird, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, there's no side deck, right? You don't deal with that. So when I tried doing both, it was really tough, but it was like the only way to, like, kind of learn.
Yes.
For me at the time, but obviously being able to do it with, like, people and friends that you have, like, at locals is definitely the best way. Because then it's the same format, you know what you're going up against, and then just being able to talk to people. Whereas, like, on Master Duel, it's just, like, it is just super different. You do have to run into Maxi. Like, I will purposely just not use Maxi when I play Master Duel, because I build my decks to my TCG deck.
Yeah.
If I can, at least.
Well, that's the thing, too, is, like, even if you do it that way.
But then I'm putting myself at such a handicap.
Exactly.
So that's the only thing. So
and you're competing in a format that your deck would never have to. Like, I remember when I went on the Master Duel, and at the time I was playing Voiceless with a Dogmatica engine in it, and I go to add Nadir Servant, and it's like, yo, this card's semi-limited. What the fuck are you talking about? No, it's not. Like, for whatever reason, at some point in Master Duel, they had to limit Nadir Servant.
Yeah.
But now I can't play my deck.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the same thing you just said, where it's like, then you're supplementing things in and out.
Yeah.
Right? And then it gets weird.
Yeah.
And it's like age-old story. Anyone who goes to locals has experienced this. Like, some guy comes in with some stun deck, playing, Fossil Dyna, Pachycephalus, and fucking whatever cards, and he's, like, upset.
Yeah.
Like, I had this one thing, the guy was playing one of those decks, he was like, we're at the bottom tables, because, I'm playing some fucking scrub ice barrier thing, and I got cooked the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And I come in, and, I'm going up against this guy, and he's like, how's your day going? And I'm like, well, I'm down here at table 7 with you, not too great. But he goes, yeah, man, I don't know, like, I made it to gold or platinum or whatever the fuck on Master Duel with the same list, and and I was like, oh, yeah, man, that's what happens.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, maybe you win game 1, but that's all you need to win in Master Duel. Yeah. So, like, then what? When you're playing your runic stun deck, and I side in Lancia, what are you doing?
Right.
Right? Like,
because those people in Master Duel are typically probably preparing for the meta decks.
Exactly.
Right? So there's no opportunity to side out for a potential other threat.
Yes.
So their main deck is thinking about the meta cards.
Yeah, like people right now in Master Duel have to main deck Lancia.
Yes.
Because it's a silver bullet that you're going to want to have against Malice.
Yeah.
But what if you tee up into Tenpai?
Yeah.
You probably wanted the threatening roars.
Yeah.
Right? Like, shit like that, where it's like, I just don't recognize, like, that style of deck building, to me, seems like, I don't know, so it's like, I want to be demeaning on Master Duel players at all, because I think they're skilled.
I think it's just like just a different world.
It's just a different world.
Yeah. I do think that it would be cool to see if Master Duel would offer, like, a best of 3.
Yeah.
So offering, like, a 30-second, like, switch out.
Yeah.
Maybe 45 seconds, and then just go back into the game. That way, it's like
it makes sense to me why so many players on Master Duel play Stun or like come to locals after having played Stun in Master Duel because like, yeah, that's an all-encompassing strategy. Doesn't matter, Tenpai, Malice, whatever, Snake Eye. That's a strategy that works into any of those decks. And you build your deck straightforward to do that one thing, and it does it, and you're like, cool.
Yeah.
But when you're playing, I don't know, Raaid, and you're having to main deck 3 Lancias, obviously you're diminishing the amount of other non-engine you can play.
Yeah.
It's going to be very effective against when you queue into Malice, but what if you queue into a mirror match?
Yeah.
You know, like...
And you open up
3 Lancias.
Yeah, you're just kind of
fucking cooked.
Right.
Like,
yeah, just like the Master Duel format and like I guess other forms of playing like Duel Links even. This is a different world compared to like the TCG. So and that's why I haven't really touched Master Duel. And also like there's other like issues with Master Duel with like UR dust being like so hard to come by to get cards that you need or want. So it's just like I'd rather just invest my time into the TCG right now. And then just kind of go from there.
I don't have anything against the game.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I was raised on playing these physical cards.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for, 25 years, playing with cards like this. To me, and like, there's so much more, like, even when I play on simulators, like, online, there's so much more that goes into playing the game in person.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get a timer that lets you know that they probably have Ash or Nib or Imperm or something.
Yeah.
Right? You don't get that. Yeah. You don't get to play around that. Like, you don't have to toggle on and off your chain links. Like, those things don't exist.
Yeah.
You just have to be straight up, or you can bullshit.
Yeah.
The guy goes 5th summon and you start counting. I don't have Nib even in my main deck, and I'm still, like, threatening the chance that I'm going to nib this guy, so he stops.
Yeah.
Whether I have it or not, I'm mind gaming, right? Yeah. To whose benefit, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it was better for him to overextend and then me crack back, but like, for the most part, it's kind of like, I don't know, man. I just love playing the game in person. So, back to your original question, like, this is one of those formats where, like, all of those little things, the intimidation factor, the mind games, like the deck building, all those things are important in a format like this because the margin for error is very small.
But bottom line, Master Duel format, Duel Links, all that stuff is like very different from the TCG, and our focus is just more so on the TCG because that's just what we play mostly.
Yeah.
So I'm not really concerned with Master Duel anymore as much. But I do have to thank Master Duel for getting me back into this.
Yeah.
Like me and my buddy saw that it was free. We downloaded it, we played it, and we're like, wow, we should get into these cards. Like, I had some cards, which is like the nostalgia GOAT cards. And then, at the time, that's when the 25th anniversary stuff happened.
Yes,
so, like, the 23 tins. That's when I got some stuff. I was, like, chasing for that QCR Dark Magician, the tin. I spent way too much on those tins for... I was sitting on, like, Fenders and Vistials that were $20 cards that I didn't even know at the time. They're just sitting in my binder. And then I ended up using them. I was like, wow. I was like, I never touch these cards again. I like legit played Master Duel and be like, I'm not going to be the guy that uses Imperm. I'm not going to be the guy that uses Ash. Like, I refuse to play into the meta.
So okay, so like, maybe you can explain this to me.
Yeah.
Because I have buddies who have tried to get into the modern game, and they're the same way. Now,
it's because they don't want to play the new cards. They refuse to play anything new. They only, like, at least for my thought was like, if I'm going to play, like, Blue Eyes, I'm going to play all the cards that are around Blue Eyes. And then I'm going to use, if I'm going to use any, like, spells and traps, like, non-engine, it's the ones that grew up on. The Magic Cylinder, the Mirror Force, those ones. But then, it's like, they're just weird. You get hit with a Feather Duster, and then it's like, okay, now what? You got your Vanilla Dark Magician and no back row. You're cooked, right? So then, it's like, okay.
Like, I get it from a certain perspective, right? Because when I first started playing competitively, it was like 2014, 2015-ish. And, but I didn't have that kind of, like, aversion to meta.
Yeah.
My only aversion to meta, even today, is price, right? So, in most cases, if there's a new staple, I'll buy it.
Okay.
Within reason.
Yeah.
What I won't buy is something like Impulse.
Yeah.
When it's like $80-$90 a pop.
Yep.
Just because it's like, yeah, I'm not going to spend like $280 on a single playset or something.
Yeah.
I'll take the L.
Yeah.
Right? But then, having good friends, you guys all got me a playset for my birthday.
Yeah.
I'll play the cards.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy them. But, and then, the same locals, you brought those to me and gifted them to me.
Yeah.
I won.
Yeah.
The first time I ever won locals on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So obviously those cards make a difference.
Yeah.
But like the things like Ash Blossom, Imperm, like those staples, right? Like stuff like that. Even like Azuna.
Yeah.
I bought 3 Azuna because I knew that like, okay, format's changing. There's potential I can play this in any deck really.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy this because if this card shoots up to $100 a piece, then I'm not gonna buy it. Then I'm gonna complain that I don't have the card.
Sure. Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. I'm throwing my Blue Eyes deck in the garbage type shit. Like, so for me, like those are worth it because it's like if everyone's getting like Rising Tide, raises all ships. Is that the saying?
Okay.
I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Like, if your deck's getting better, so is mine, you know? But I don't know, like, I've never had that kind of, like, well, I'm not going to play Ash Blossom. Yeah. I'm not going to pay for Ash Blossom when it was, $80 a piece.
Yeah.
But I'll play it.
Yep.
If I can find commons and it gets reprinted in a rarity set or something like that. Like, oh, yeah, perfect time to pick up my triple tax and my forbidden droplets and stuff.
Yeah.
Which, like, and to your point, like, I think your story is, like, probably more common than we would see.
Yep.
Because, like, Dan and Stefan have the same story.
Yeah.
Where it's, like, they played as kids. The 25th anniversary stuff started coming on. They were like, haha, wouldn't it be fun if we played again?
Yeah.
Started playing again. I saw that they were playing. Was like, yo, come. You're going to eat shrimps with the wimps or lobster with the mobsters,
Yeah.
Fucking, put them on game type shit.
Right.
And now they're playing, in the locals and they're playing like strong decks and all that kind of stuff, right? But
so it builds on that then, right? Because then you do start to there's a sense a sense of that goes through your head. It's like, yeah, like you can just do Magic Cylinder and
definitely.
You open up those bricks, then what? You pass turn.
Yeah.
And then it's like, or you just set them and you pass turn.
Yeah,
it's like,
and that's where the competitive nature comes in.
Yeah.
Because some people will do that, open up bricks, and go, this game is bad.
Yeah.
Or they open up 4 bricks and a 1-card starter, and they get Impermed or Veiled or Ash, and you go, okay, this game is bad.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah.
You fucking refuse to put staples in your deck and you're losing because of it.
So then, and that's where like things slowly developed for me. It's like it went from, okay, I don't know, there's so many Blue Eyes cards like that just got printed that I was like, I don't know where the fuck to begin. I don't know the lines. But I'm gonna figure it out, and that was my biggest thing too, is like figuring out my own deck building. Like, that's the other thing with Yu-Gi-Oh too, is that I always believed that like there should have been like that creativeness to it. Mm-hmm. I don't think that people should be looking at what other people make.
Just net decking.
Yeah, I that's what I didn't believe before.
Yeah.
Obviously, people do it, and people I just got over that fact, and now I'm looking back and I'm like, it's whatever. I still, truthfully, I think that people should do that. I think it'd be fucking sweet.
Same.
I think people should make their own decks and come to them. But no matter what, though, it's like Call of Duty. If people have a gun meta, like attachments, people are gonna copy it. No matter what, it's gonna be copied, and people are gonna do that because people want to win more than they just want to go play for fun at locals. Right. So simply because of the fact that they just want to win and not even caring about having fun, you're gonna deal with those people. And I'm not gonna be to care about what other people do. Mm. So I'm gonna play the game for fun, and I'm gonna deck build the way I want, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Right. Yeah.
And that's kind of the fun part too, though, because then like I'm going into locals with the Blue Eyes deck. Yes, it's gonna have your typical engine that you need it to like play fluently. Yeah. But there's other things I'm gonna throw in there that's gonna throw people off because they're like, oh, I've never seen this in a Blue Eyes deck. I don't know how to react to this. Right. Now what? But that becomes like a pilot thing rather than the deck thing, and then it's like switches things up a little bit. So then yes, like even with like Master Duel, I slowly like looked into the branded stuff. And then I was playing Branded Dark Magician, and that was nice and cohesive because Branded Fusion segued into a Dragoon,
Sure.
And I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And then they hit fucking Branded Fusion to 1. They hit Pot of Prosperity to 1. And having those 2 cards in a branded Dark Magician was like the most consistent thing. Because if I didn't open up with Branded Fusion, I was getting it off Pot of Prosperity.
Yeah.
So that's why it was really nice. And that was like my form of like consistency. While also like even at that point I was adding, my guaranteed staples were always Ash and Imperm. And I also didn't want to spend money on them, and the Rarity Collection one like came out like perfect timing, basically when I was like deck building in person rather than just Master Duel. And then so I got the Ashes from there, Imperms from there, so I was like, okay, I'll throw these in my deck and see how things go. And then yeah, like I did my first regionals last year in like June in Grand Prairie, and then I didn't have all the things I needed, but that's besides the point. And then, but like I just progressed more and more from there, right? It did start with like throwing in the Ash and throwing in the Imperm, because I realized that everybody was running it, and I just got fucking washed if I didn't, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd get like if your Lebellion got like Ash or Imperm, you're fucked. You're just so screwed. You're just left with the Lebellion, the Syrian Dragon, whatever it was on board, and you just don't get your Dragoon. You know what I mean? So. It's whatever, you just like learn from that, and like again, my competitive nature just slowly overtook over time. It just wasn't until like basically this format where like it really just like I can now start fresh almost. Everyone's switching up, so everyone's fresh into this new format.
Right.
I can get a better understanding now. That way people aren't like fully mastered it, because by the time I kind of got to that point with Mountless Ryzeal, it was just a little bit too late. And then I was like, whatever. But it was more so like learning Blue Eyes the best way. But now with the new format, I'm trying to understand all the decks, where to hit them, and then kind of going from there. And then the best ways to interact, right? Because you don't want to interact, whatever. But yeah, that was kind of like my experience though with like getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh through Master Duel. It was like I'm just gonna whip up a Blue Eyes deck. Or a Dark Magician deck, or my old Nostalgia GOAT format deck that is the least viable thing ever because there's no cohesiveness. It's just legit just Yugi cards put together, like a Yugi deck, like a structure deck Yugi basically, put together and like hoping that it'd do something, and it wouldn't do fucking anything. Yeah. Because I'm banking off of like such silly cards, right? And then I do like
silly is a funny.
Yeah, it's like cards that just like do silly. Weird things, like Dark Burning Magic or whatever. Where you have the Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, and you board wipe.
That's a really important thing, is because like I find with players like that who are like returning to the game, especially, they'll bring you a card like that. Yeah. And you go, oh, this is like a little too slow. Yeah. I find like that's a hard thing to communicate. Yes. Because if they haven't experienced it, they don't know what you mean. Yes. It's like, okay, you're bringing me a trap card, say, and it's got a really good effect. Yeah. But the first time you're going to get to activate that is maybe turn 3 if you go second. Yep. Turn 2 if not. Yep. And at that point, is it good enough then? No. If so, sure. Yep. But if it's in your starting 5, it's brutal. And you're setting it, if I have one pop or one negate, can you push through? Yeah. If the answer is no, then maybe that card is too slow, right? Yeah. I think like why this format is interesting too is like because you get those Draco Tail traps, which like when you read them they're pretty like underwhelming. Yeah. It's compulse and a spell negate. Yeah. Which is good. Then they shuffle back and let you draw, which is really good. Yeah. It's a really good card, right? But by itself, they're not anything to like write home about. Yeah. But because they're searchable, they're settable from the deck. You can recur them by targeting themselves. One goes to grave, then you spin it back with the other, and you recycle them infinitely. Yeah. Right? And we're getting a new one in Doom of Dimensions. Yeah. Like, that's what makes it good. Yeah. Is because, like, even though a trap is slow, it sucks when you draw one of those traps, but because it works within your engine, it makes playing those traps viable. Otherwise, no one would play them. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And back to a point you made earlier, too, like, net decking. Like, I think net decking is a good place to start. Yeah. For, like, anybody watching or, like, listening. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing with the deck, but you really want to play deck, you net deck, look what other people are doing. Yeah. But one of the funniest things I find in our game is like an event will happen.
Yeah.
Some guy's running some spicy tech card.
Yeah.
Right? So if you go on Yugioh Pro Deck, you look and you say, oh shit, Raaid is playing Mistress of the Gnomes, right? Then you add that to your Master Duel or whatever, your online deck or like your real deck. And you don't know what the fuck, when to do it, how to do it. Yeah. Like, you just like know it's in there. Yeah. It's a card you gotta play, right? The Metalphos Fusion type card where it's like, this card has a specific use case in this deck. If you don't know it, you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
It's a brick.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so I think, like, anytime there's a list, especially, like, a big event winning list, there's always, like, some sort of spicy tech that's good into the meta game. But when that meta game shifts, that card's no longer good.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, the card's not good.
Yes.
If you don't view the game that way, if your brain doesn't think the same way like those players think, you're better off switching out that card for a third Ghost Ogre or something. Yeah. Because, like, it's not going to come up for you.
Yes.
Because it's just not, you're not going to end up in game states due to, like, a level of play that's going to become a factor. Yeah. It's like, I'd say this for, like, myself, too. Like, I often see deck lists and go, okay, like, I understand why they're playing that card, but, like, I have to simplify this for me.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Add more hand traps, add more non-engine, add more engine in some cases. And it's funny, too, because, like, this is the best version of the deck.
Yeah.
But at the next event, if the format is shifted or changed or whatever, that same player with the spicy tech is going to have a new spicy tech.
Yeah.
Which means everybody else wasn't playing the best version of the deck. So, for me, I start at net decking, and I go, like, what feels good?
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of drawing, Cartesia in my Draco Tail and already having normal summoned.
Yeah.
Like, I recognize this card is good, but I'm going to play Crowley because it's funnier, and I like the card. Mm-hmm. Shit like that, where it's like, I think there's no, like, one way to do it, but there are wrong ways to do it.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that approach of, like, nah, I'm not playing hand traps. That's not my thing. I think they break the game. Okay, but then don't play at locals because you're going to lose every game.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, like you could, and that's the thing, to like say that you're not going to do it, but don't be upset when other people do it. And
exactly.
Like, that was the mentality I kept, because people are going to play however they want to play, right? They're going to play meta, they're going to play meta. So, like, that's the other thing. When I went to go play locals, I knew I'd get washed, but I wasn't going to get mad at people for beating me, because, like, I knew what I was getting myself into.
Right.
Going into locals with a fucking Dark Condition branded fusion, like, compared to, like, in the Fiendsmith Snake Eyes era, holy, I was just asking for it at that point, right? Yeah. So, like, it's whatever. But it's like it's a difference when you're, like, playing meta and then you go into it and then you lose and then, like, you're upset then. And then it's like, okay, competitive, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, there's, like, different levels to consider. But yeah, like, for anyone that, like, comes from, like, the nostalgia era into this modern era, like, right away, because they just haven't played the last basically 15, 20 years, like, I definitely understand where they come from, refusing to play any of the newer cards, and some of the things are just very, like, there's a lot of text. There really is. Like, like, already looking at this, this, Cypher Divine, it's got, like, a whole paragraph, right, in comparison to, like, maybe this was, like, half as much, and it's this. You know what I mean? There's, like, so much less. It's so much different. And people just don't care. And then understanding the sequences is not a matter of, like, set one, summon one, pass. It's like, you gotta do this, and then there's this stream, this line. There's so many
turn
things.
combo, the one card starter, blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah.
So that's why, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And, like, this is also going to be a conversation for another time. In comparison to other trading card games, it's just not teachable. I think if you're going to teach someone the proper steps of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is you got to start with GOAT format and almost work your way through the other formats, just at least, like, surface level, so they understand how it works. Because you can't teach someone all the rules of GOAT format in advanced format all at the same time. Because I can tell someone, like, how setting works and normal summoning works and everything. But in addition to that, I'm now adding, like, okay, but when you normal summon this monster specifically, you can go into this whole line of cards. But then this other monster, when you normal summon that one, has a whole different line of some like effects.
Well, we already have the answer. You just take Shining Sark and teach them through that, dude.
Yeah, but there are decks like that though. Like there are easy decks. Like Archmage is one that you can do that with. Shining Sarcophagus you can teach someone with.
Straightforward. So I think Blue Eyes is one too.
Blue Eyes is perfect because it is a structure deck. You can buy 3 of, make the best version of it with those cards, and it's still competitive. Like you could still do well. And there's some support engines that you can get, like Invoke, the Red Eyes, things like that. You don't even need Primite. Even now, actually, Primite's really cheap because all the cards got reprinted so much. So you can actually make a very competitive Blue Eyes for dirt cheap, for like less than $70 bucks, very easy, ish. But $100 deck, no problem, and you can learn it. It's very streamlined, very easy. But for someone like, I don't know, if you're gonna teach your younger brother how to play Yugioh, the best way is to probably start with Go format, just so the fundamentals are there. And then advanced decks like Shining Sark, Blue Eyes, Archmage, those are easier decks to just kind of hand off. Like, okay, if you're going to play advanced, these are the decks to use because they're very straightforward, and then you can figure out the lines of play. And then what just makes a better player is how you take that deck to a different level. That's kind of how we already discussed in this podcast here. But it's like just the ceiling, raising the ceiling, and that's just that kind of comes with the player, not necessarily the deck itself.
Yeah.
But
and you have to be willing to learn the format.
Yes.
To know, how
to raise it.
Again, it's not a realistic thing. It's not a pleasant thing if you build your board, pass, and the guy scoops. Once or twice is fine. Mm-hmm. If every game was like that, no one would play the game because what's the point, right? Then it's solitaire.
Yeah.
So I think it's understanding the format lets you know this card has application here, here, and here, but not here and here and here.
Yeah.
Right? If one card you put into your deck solved all your problems, it wouldn't be a fun game because then it's just solitaire, right?
Yeah.
So.
And I think honestly, a lot of the fun does come with being able to outsmart your opponent.
Yes.
I think you treat it like Go format. I'd almost say it's like a game of checkers, whereas advanced over the years, it's almost just switched to a game like a chess, right? Yes, they can create a crazy board, but how can you interrupt into that board so that they don't build into it? But also now, they've built a board, for example, that you couldn't crack because you didn't have the interruptions for it.
Plus, it's on your solved format, right? The ideal lines in a GOAT deck are known to everyone who enjoys that format.
Yeah.
So, somebody sets, you almost know for sure what they're setting.
Yeah.
Right? You got your Sinister Serpent or whatever the fuck, right? You can see where lines are going because there's only a handful of viable strategies, or what's considered the best strategy. It's solved in that way where it's I know what cards I can try and put in these strategies because I know they offset the strategies that everyone's using. Yeah. Right? And you only get that by being a student of said format. Yeah. Right? You wouldn't there's not you don't put Burst Stream of Destiny into your Blue Eyes deck and go this is the one. Unless there's a format that specifically makes it so wait, this card's actually pretty good right now. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's about studying the game at any given format. Formats change all the time with any new release, with any ban list update, whatever. So I kind of I love the idea of the game it's never going to be the same as it once was. No. And that's the beautiful part. Yeah. Is that anybody on any given day can have cooked up the right recipe to have success with whichever deck they're playing because a certain pocket format allows for it, right? Yeah.
And I think that's what makes the better duelist, right? The smarter duelist is not just even net decking always, but it's also you net deck for the foundation. Yeah. But then it's okay, what can I add to this to switch it up a little bit, right? So that's what makes, I think, also a very strong duelist. I mean, you had Triff who made the Fiendsmith Razio, and he won, or was it YCS for last year? Yeah. and that ended up becoming a very strong meta deck. And like to be able to do that, that's like a really cool feeling to be able to just build a deck different from other people, because now other people don't know how to interact with that. If it's like the very standard meta deck, then people are preparing to deal with it, right? So then,
I faced a deck on Friday that was like Fiendsmith, Primite, Galaxy or something.
Oh my god!
It was crazy. Like the guy 5th summon Dragoon,
and
I'm sitting on Nib in hand and go, oh,
wow,
this is bad.
Yeah,
this is really bad for me. But I had no frame of reference.
Yeah,
I know what the Primite cards do, but fuck, I'm not gonna Ash the barrel.
Yeah,
when I know he's got 4 other cards in hand. Like,
yeah.
And this guy's about to make Dragoon.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's crazy, fuck? Actually.
Yeah, so, and then you look at your side deck and you're like, well, I prepared for Yummy, Vanquisol, and Crystal.
Yeah.
This guy's got me beat, There's nothing I can do because I did not prepare for this. Which is the same rationale with something like Lunalight.
Yeah.
Like we said, just got 2nd place at Worlds, where it's like, a lot of people sleep on the deck.
Yeah.
A lot of people overhype the deck, which is me. I was like, this deck is fucking broken.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, the deck I was playing at the time should have had outs to it, and I just wasn't aware like where to interact.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think that's like a big point that separates good players from great players.
Yeah.
It's like a great player, they've chosen their deck.
Yeah.
But it's not who they are.
Yeah.
To say, it's kind of like I talked about the Teller Knight guy. I think that guy's a really good player. Mm-hmm. And it's more about like studying the metagame than it is like playing other decks. But it's like, to be great, to beat VSK9, you got to know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing, like, I've never played Blue Eyes, but I can go full Blue Eyes combo.
Yeah.
And I'm confident in my ability that like I could take your Blue Eyes deck and probably play it pretty well.
Yeah.
And you could probably say the same about like my Malice deck and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you played against it so much that it's like, oh, I've memorized these lines.
Yeah.
I know where to interact. Same thing with Yugioh.
Yeah.
Like, I played against Yugioh for however long, and then I saw a build of Voiceless Yugioh, and I just bought the cards, and I knew how to play it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to like
study
practice, because like I played enough into it.
Yeah.
But I think in the early days of a format, you don't get that experience of having played into those decks. Yeah. So like that's a crucial thing to like, if you want to leg up on the competition, it's like go out and like you go on Sim and like play VSK9.
Yeah.
Net deck the top decks, play it, and go, okay, if something were to happen to me at this stage, or like experience something happening to you at that stage, oh, that was very detrimental based off my hand, based off the game state. Okay, now when I'm playing against it, if I can force them into that corner, I already know what that feels like and how tough it is to come out of it. I'm good, right? Without that experience, you're just kind of, the worst part is those guys who like refuse to put hand traps in.
Yeah.
Then they put hand traps in, and you summon Sage and they ash it, and you're like, buddy. Link fucking, and you're like, come on, man. There's a better point where you could have used that,
and but I think it's like all like a part of like the whole learning,
learning
aspect of it. But like, and if you are coming back into Yu-Gi-Oh and you are like just about the nostalgia stuff, it's just great that the nostalgia cards do have some support. Like you could technically play like an Obelisk deck, Raw deck, Slifer deck with weird supports for them. It won't be great, but you throw a couple hand traps in there and you might go like X3. But like still, like in that same breath, you can still play with them. They're playable. They don't have the greatest support when you look at like something compared to Blue Eyes, but just give time, because Blue Eyes got support earlier this year. Red Eyes has gotten some support here and there, but Red Eyes support is very weird because it's like all over the place. But then you also have Dark Magician support coming up too, so the Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes trio, like those are always fun, and then it's just a matter of time till your other favorite like nostalgia deck gets support. Because we had Yubel last year, we had Exodia, Yugi, like that's all great. So like it's just, if they keep doing that, then that's how they do grab more people to come back, and then you mix that up with like Master Duel being free and accessible and putting those decks in there. It's good. So like I think the direction that Konami is kind of taking is like relatively good. And then, I mean, the way they sell their sets can be questionable. But again, that's like a whole conversation for another time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, like that's briefly like my way of getting into it. Though, is like like I refuse to do hand traps, refuse to do meta. I'm just gonna play how I want to, and then you realize that your GOAT format deck that's legal doesn't work,
Yeah.
and then you have to splash some, hand traps, and still not good enough.
Yeah.
And then you move on to like a deck that's playable, and then it's not great because I went straight to a nostalgia deck, which was Shining Sark. Playable, not the best deck, but it's still fun, and then just kind of slowly develop. You just slowly go into it, and otherwise some people just don't, and you just drop it and you just leave it. But I mean, the way I look at it is like I was already putting money into it, and I do love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna slowly develop it as much as I can, and then so seeing Blue Eyes become what it can be, I'm just rocking with it currently, and then Art Mage as well when the Dune Z stuff comes as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically like kind of where I'm at with like the format. Like I really do like this format. I really do love this format. I think this format is fantastic because it's like a perfect time because it is like a triangle love fair thing. So it's just gotta figure it out, and then
I'm with you on like especially like we talk about entry points. The one thing I'd caution is like I talk about the Teller Knight guy. I think it's cool to be like I'm a X player.
Yeah.
But also like don't be afraid to deviate from that because like I think a lot of people pigeonhole themselves into like I'm a control player, I'm a stun player.
Yeah.
It's like but what if you tried playing combo just to see, right? And vice versa.
Yeah.
I think finding like your play style is like an important thing, but then being able to like let a deck go on ice is like also as much as it's like don't give up on a deck because you're struggling into a format that you've refused to learn.
Yeah.
But also don't get so attached that you're like delusional to where the ceiling of the deck is, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, like you gotta understand, like sometimes we did mention like sometimes like the deck isn't just the best.
Yeah.
Like yes, you can make it work.
Yeah.
But at some points you're just going into locals and you're just losing to everything.
Yeah.
And that's when you just kind of know you just gotta take a break a little bit, or you just don't play that format, or you don't play for a couple months, and you just switch to something else and then just play that out. And then go back. Like it's good to have variety because there's time, and there's people like at locals that do it all the time. Like a Kosh will just go to like he'll do Ritual Beasts.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what he's on now, but like he'll switch between decks, and it's like I think that's great too. And I'll switch here and there. Cause like I tried doing Shining Sark with the last format, and I just realized that it just droll being as annoying as it is. It's very difficult because every single card in Shining Sark relied on adding a card. There was not a lot of displacing or special summoning unless you had it all in hand, and you're assuming then you have normal hand traps. And you're just all engine. But nonetheless, like this is a matter of learning the game, understanding it, and then I advocate for using your favorite deck and trying to make it the best you can, for sure, but understand that there's ceilings, and then understand how the game is currently working and functioning.
At the end of the day, Blue Eyes and Dark Magician are normal monsters.
Yes.
So
you open that up compared to like you opening up like a Dormouse, you're opening up like 5 mana. Very different, right? Like they're low attack monsters, sure, but they're combo starters.
Right.
But then you open up Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, strong monsters, absolutely nothing for you. They end up just becoming discard fodder if you got a card that requires a discard, because they're better off in the grave, because you do most of the work with them being in grave anyways, not even in hand. So it's just the way it is. So, but yeah, it is a sweet feeling when the deck you like and is doing well. It's a great feeling when you win with it. It's a great feeling when you beat meta decks with it, because now this person has the best game considered in the game, and you just beat them with a deck that's like rogue. That's not great. And that's why like whenever someone comes into locals with a rogue deck or just a different look at a certain deck, I always can respect it. Like people like playing Exodia topping at locals with Exodia. That's awesome. People like using Ritual Beasts. What was it, like the aqua? What was it? Those fish?
Goatee? Atlanteans.
Atlanteans. Like, that was cool when that became like a thing for a little while. Like things like that. Like it's always just cool to see like rogue decks kind of just come back because people are just using decks that they love from their like when they were younger, and they're just playing with it, and it just kind of works out in the current format. So, and that's just like I look forward to upcoming Dark Magician support. I'm having a lot of fun with Blue Eyes in the current format, and then was it like there's someone at locals who's using Blue Eyes with like the Red Eyes support, and he went XO, and this was during like Malice, Ryzeal,
yeah, that's right,
like Fiendsmith, like that time frame. So like to go XO with the Blue Eyes with no Primite either, that's very, very impressive because I think he was the only person and still is the only person that topped with Blue Eyes.
Blue Eyes, yeah.
So
I believe so.
like that's fucking awesome. And like it says a lot, right? It says a lot about the player and not about the deck itself, because that's how you know like that's a good player rather than like, oh, it's a good deck, because people will just take like a deck to an event and they'll win with it, right? That's just, like Fiendsmith, Ryzeal, arguably if it was played by someone else, could have been the worst iteration of Ryzeal.
Table 500, yeah.
Yeah, but it was number 1 YCS because of Triff, and that's because he's just a really good duelist.
Yeah.
Yummy, he took that to YCS and won with that. And arguably, Blue Eyes runs over Yummy. Like, every time I come across Yummy, I've just ran over it. So it's like, but am I going to say, am I going to sit here and be like, yeah, Triff, I'm better than you, I'm going to school you.
Tell him.
Nah, man. Like, it's just, you know, you gotta, like, you gotta just understand, like, where you stand, even just as a duelist yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, if you're gonna get back into the game, be open-minded to it.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you're gonna be, like, playing GOAT, just stay at home.
That's the thing, man. Like, bro, play with any format you want. We like domain format around here. Like, that's a fun boys' night type shit.
Yeah.
But you gotta respect what is advanced constructed format.
Yeah, like if you're gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh and it, like current, like you're gonna go to locals and play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Regardless of how you feel, this is what it is now.
Yeah. That's what it is.
That's the thing with any format.
Yeah.
After any ban list, any new release, this is what it is.
Yeah.
You can choose to play it or not. It's up to you.
Yeah.
To each their own. But like, if you're gonna play, just play.
Yeah.
Like.
Just play it. Yeah, I think it's great. Some ban list is like last year with Pot of Prosperity and Branded Fusion, that being hit. Like again, when I was playing Branded Dark Magician, that was like my most consistent way of playing a deck I liked.
Yeah.
Those 2 cards getting hit just sucked. It's whatever. But what can you do? Move on. Stop crying. And then I just played Shining Sark at that point for the rest of the year because that's just the only way it was consistent. And then like I like Dark Magician. I was trying to find any way to make it work at the time. I just couldn't find the mix there. But I know there are people do Shining Sark with Dark Magician, but it's just whatever. And then Blue Eyes came out and you're like, I'm not gonna go. I already ranted about Blue Eyes maining it a lot already. But yeah, that's just I don't know. Current format, current Yu-Gi-Oh. My development into like playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh now, like it's really good. Like I'm interested to see what happens in the next year. The fact that I picked up Art Mage, like I picked it up simply because it was like a nice, cool art-looking archetype, and that's just kind of why I picked it up, and then just gonna see how that develops and how that plays, and then kind of go from there, because then who knows, maybe the next like deck building set I might just go into the meta depending on what the cards are like, because like when I looked at this upcoming set I was like, oh, Draco Tail Dragon, that's cool, let's see how I can make that work with Blue Eyes. But then I realized that like Blue Eyes requires so much engine cards, and then Draco Tail is very similar to that, which then reduces the amount of hand traps you can place. So then yes, you have a lot of consistency, but then you have like no interruptions basically, and it's become sticky. So I'm just gonna stick to Blue Eyes here, and then go from there. Yeah. But I do think maybe upcoming could be like a Dark Magician Draco Tail. I say that because Dark Magician seems to be a very splashable like engine, as like a small amount, like small package, as opposed to Blue Eyes needing a lot. With
the new DM support, it's definitely something to consider for sure.
Because then you just throw in like Black Witch for that, like that spell,
Yeah, Black Witch. Yeah, pretty much. Like, because you need a spell, I think, to activate the Dark Magician to fuse with just one spellcaster or whatever. Yeah. So you want to you'd have to play more spells than Dracotales are currently playing. However, as soon as you fuse once, you're setting 2 spells. Yeah. And then you're getting into anything. So as long as you make Gulamel with the Dracotale, you could, in theory, summon Dark Magician over the Gulamel. Okay. Like the Magician of Black, whatever the fuck. Right. Okay. Black Destruction. So Dark Magician of Destruction? Yeah, Dark Magician of Destruction, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to like test that engine in there. Yeah.
Because if that works well, I might consider picking up Dracotale specifically for that. Yeah. If not, just even having Dracotale to the side, just in case that way I don't have to pick it up later in case the prices skyrocket. Yep. Because it could just be one of those game breaking, like, because Dracotale is one of those between the 3 where like the ceiling we just don't know where it's at right now.
No idea.
So it's like,
and it's slept on as one of those 3. Yeah.
So Dark Magician pairing up with that could be very good because of those Dark Magician Dragon fusions, and then Dragoon obviously being like the boss monster, but you know, with some of these other ones and add other additions and just having monsters in hand, you just send Dark Magician as cost. Dark Magician Grave, you can fusion summon from there probably, or special summon it from Grave. You pair that with a Magicalast fusion spell card that lets you banish your materials to fusion summon. Like you just have plays here, and because this can be good, and then it'll be interesting to see. But
yeah. Well, yeah, man. I think I'll do it for our inaugural podcast episode. It's only 3 hours long, so
the whole local session. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. This could have definitely split up into like 2, but those were like 3 points though. We talked about the format, crash up, and then his YCS experience. But the format discussion kind of went
bridges all over the place. For sure.
But no, it was good. This was a good first like podcast discussion video. I look forward to doing more, especially with like upcoming sets.
We'll have to get more of the boys on here and stuff, and
getting different other thoughts and opinions for sure. And then look forward to like our other content videos, whether it's like our duels, pack openings, deck profiles,
vlogs and shit.
Yeah, so look forward to all that stuff because we definitely want to take off with this sort of thing. So
yeah, man, make sure you like and subscribe. Yep. Follow the channel. Follow Rushmead on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Are you on anywhere else under Rushmead or just?
Yeah, honestly, all social media you can follow me at Rushmead. But typically, I'm more active on YouTube. Even though I haven't been active this year. But I'm focusing with TDE for content right now, and then my actual channel. We'll see where things go with that later. But yeah, make sure to like this video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, greatly appreciate it. And then we'll catch you guys in the next video. Check them out. It's always fun.
Yeah. Peace.